Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Laurence Plays Factorio Space Exploration. It's been a while since I've done one of these because I had last week off because I was away in the Lake District getting sunburned and walking up mountains. So I'm going to spend a bit of time going, what was I doing last time? Fortunately, I've edited a couple of videos since then, so I've got a bit of an idea of what's been going on here. So there's a couple of major things. The most obvious is here I am out on Ganymede, and so the reason I came out here was to improve my vulcanite mining system. So I've now got one, two, three, four vulcanite mines instead of just the one, so it can come in about 4 times as fast. And I added in a second unloading station here, which turned out not to be necessary, probably. But I'm sort of, I think it's probably good to have it there anyway. That's then, as you can see, dumping out onto the belt all the way along here, and all of these machines are now running nicely. So that's producing vulcanite at a decent rate. We've got nearly two full blue belts coming out here, which is pretty good. There's a decent flow of it coming through, so hopefully that'll allow me to keep my rockets flying. I've got 24,000 in that one, 46,000 in that one. So that one's nearly full, I think. Um, yes, very nearly full. I I'm going to stop that one launching for now because I'm going to want to way off this planet at some point. The other thing I need to worry about is rocket fuel. Now these seem to be okay on rocket fuel. And the other thing I wanted to do before I left this planet was stop my everything here using vulcanite in order to make rocket fuel, because that's a huge waste of vulcanite. It would be much more efficient or a much better use of resources to take the oil that's being refined over here, take out the light oil from that and the petroleum gas, and turn that into a rocket fuel instead. So that should allow me to fill the rockets up a bit more quickly and a bit more efficiently. So that's going to be my first job actually here. There's another train of vulcanite arriving. That's going to be my first job here on Ganymede, and then that'll allow me to get off the planet a bit more easily. The second thing I've noticed is if we look at Norvis Orbit, there were a couple of problems here I discovered as I was making the video, and I followed the advice I was given in one of the comments of sort of just fiddling around with the belts here a little bit, and in the process of that I accidentally, in inverted commas, dumped a little bit of the genetic data onto the other side of this belt here. So that's got it out of circulation and out of the way, and as you can see, this is now flowing again pretty smoothly. There's Yeah, there's a little bit of a shortage of either inputs or outputs on these. I think they've got the yellow markers on them, but they are generally working. So I think that should have got everything up and running again reasonably well. Ha! Hey Peter, yes, this is good. It's a good way to spend an evening. Yes, watching me going around beating my head against a brick wall playing Factorio. The other thing I discovered that was wrong up here was science the one of the Bio 1 science packs that are being produced. Oops. Um, they were going in the wrong place down here. So I've marked those belts for deconstruction, which means they no longer run, which means these all these packs mount up behind them and it stops. Because these are supposed to be going in on this belt, and then the stuff that comes down this belt is supposed to be going in down here. So I'm going to need to do some funny business with underground belts, but that's not going to be too difficult. I can fix that. I just need to be back up there. So that's the stuff back in orbit. So let's have a quick look down here again. So in order to get these machines producing rocket fuel in a better way, there's a couple of things I'm going to need to do. The first one is to put in some more of these refineries, and I'm going to need to switch these over to the other refining recipe. The one that produces all three of the outputs, because as you can see, this is just producing petroleum gas at the moment, and it's light oil specifically that I'm going to need for the rocket fuel. I can use up the excess petroleum gas, but I also need light oil. I also have been. It's occurred to me that I've got all this coal coming in here that's being passed around by these burner inserters. Now, the sensible thing to do with this would be to have some coal liquefaction going on up here as well, just to get rid of that, to get rid of what's being dug up from here, and yeah, and stop it just being passed around in this endless, wherever it is, endless sort of stream of lunacy around here. So I'm going to get that set up as well. That should be fairly straightforward, although it's going to get a bit spaghetti around here, but I shall definitely do that. And then, once I've got the light oil and all of that coming through, then there's going to be a little bit more. I'm going to need a lot more of these refineries, because instead of being fuel refineries, instead of just taking vulcanite and making it straight into rocket fuel, I'm going to be taking in what is it? Light oil and making it into solid fuel, and then solid fuel into rocket fuel. So that's going to need a few more machines. I can repurpose these ones, and I did a little bit of checking just before I started the stream. And looking at here, you can see over there on the right that I have another 28 fuel refineries. That's the second one in on the fifth row down. 28 fuel refineries that I can use to expand this. So I have a plan. And as we all know, every plan survives until first contact with the enemy. And in this case, the enemy is not the biters. It's probably just going to be my lack of foresight and planning. So the first thing that occurs to me is there's not really much room for more what are these things? Oil refineries up here. But I can put some more in across here like this. But that's going to cause problems with the piping because the outputs won't be in the same order. That's tricksy. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn all of these into. So I want the light oil heavy system. So there are three recipes there's four recipes. There's three recipes that are relevant. There's the one it's on at the moment, which just makes petroleum gas. So that was fine before when I just needed it for plastic and sulfuric acid. Then there's the first advanced one, which is light oil heavy, so it produces 70 light oil and only 20 heavy oil. Or you can flip that round and do the heavy oil heavy one, which produces 70 heavy oil and 30 light oil. So I'm going to go for that one for all of them. And that should, without any extra faffing, should just work. And so now, as you can see, we're starting to fill these tanks up down here. So all of this heavy oil, I've just realised I didn't check whether I've got any chemical plants. I'm going to need those for converting. So let's just have the bots do the building work for me, because that's kind of what they're there for. And I've got good bot coverage up here. So I'm going to put in another row of these here, like this, and then worry about the piping for them in a moment. Then I'm going over here, a bit further over, I'm going to put in a row of the chemical plants and use those to turn. I'm going to try to. Hopefully I've got the stuff I need for this. 4 of them is probably going to be enough. And then I'm going to have these ones, hopefully, turning the heavy oil into more light oil. Because I don't need any heavy oil here at all. Oh, good, I did have some. Thank goodness for that. Because I don't need any heavy oil here at all. It's just a sort of a byproduct, essentially. And that cable isn't long enough. Typical. Oh, no, it is if I put it there. Okay, so we're going to run. Let's just check. So heavy to light, that does require water. Okay, I thought it probably would. And these are all doing that one as well. Oh, except I'm going to turn one of these into dealing with coal. So let's make it U for no apparent reason, just arbitrarily. There we go. You can do coal liquefaction. I don't need this extra belt though. Is that going to require? Oh, that's going to require steam. So that's a little bit more complicated. And heavy oil. So I'm going to need to redo the piping up there, but that's fine. That's not a problem. The complicated part is going to be doing the piping over here. So let's start again, essentially, and we'll have one pipe there, one pipe there, and one pipe there. And I should then be able to just link all of these straight across. So we'll remove all of this pipe work over here, because this is now wrong. Spill all the oil over the floor, that'll just fine. Okay, so we'll have heavy in the first one. Then light. Then I'm probably going to find out that the underground pipes aren't long enough to do the petroleum gas all the way from there to... Oh no, they are. Excellent. That makes life a bit easier. And then... Oh, I need to offset these ones. Because otherwise the pipes are going to get in each other's way. So I can put these in here, 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 and here. Now, once again, I can do the... Well, that's just a pipe because that's so close. It's easy. Like that. And the undergrounds like this. For light oil. And then finally heavy oil at the bottom like this. And because I've got them offset like that, the pipes don't collide. Otherwise, I'd have had problems getting the heavy oil through because there's an underground pipe for the light oil in the way. Right, that's all linked up. Now it needs power. Power, there we go. And we need to link it all up to these tanks down here. Like this. Oh, and that. And then over here we need to do the converting the heavy oil into light oil. So we've got both of them. Do that and that. And all of this stuff over... Oh, and we're going to need the crude oil over here as well. That's not a problem. I can run that through about here. If we run that up a pipe, like... I'll run out of pipes. Oh, please tell me there's more pipes on this planet. I haven't got a huge number of underground pipes either. Yeah, bring me some... No, that's the wrong... That's funny space pipes. Bring me some pipes. Yeah, 100 will probably do. For now, at least. Are there any more pipes? And we're just going... Oh, there we go. I was going to say, to be honest, pipes aren't too difficult. They're not. It's not the end of the world if I don't have any, because they are just iron, and I do have a supply of iron here, as you've seen in previous episodes, should we say? There we go. So run that up there, and then we get crude oil like this linked in there, and then like that. Now we just need the water, which is one final pipe down here. Oh, there was a rocket going out with something useful. I hope. Where can I get the water through? That's a tricky one. Where does water even come from? There's a pipe coming up here and across here. All right, this will have to do. There we go, water. And I shall link all these in. I mean, I probably could be getting the bots to do this, but it feels like it's that sort of... I don't have underground pipes as well. It's that sort of in-between sized development of things where it doesn't really quite feel worth having bots doing all the hard work for me. It doesn't feel worth copying all the blueprints out, but it is just about big enough that it's a little bit tedious putting it all down. So it's a sort of, yeah, awkward in-between size build. So that goes there, and there, and there, and there. And then we've got the light oil being produced here from these. I'll be pumped back down here. Right, so now these should all fill up fairly quickly. That's full of petroleum gas. It's full of light oil, filling up with light oil, and that will be theoretically kept more or less empty. Oh, there's been comments. Sorry, I was not paying any attention to the chat. I do apologise. Yeah, I think the light oil version is probably is the one I want to go for. It's as much as anything, it's because I actually want the vulcanite elsewhere. So I want to just turn that into, yeah, I want to use that for useful things. I want to use the vulcanite for useful things like putting into rockets and sending off to where it's needed. The oil is just here. The big question is whether this oil mine here is going to be able to keep up with chucking rockets out at the required speed. I might consider having some sort of overflow system, some sort of emergency system that produces it from vulcanite. I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, I'll chuck in a load of refineries and then see how it goes, rather than trying to do the maths, because I don't like doing the maths. Just lazy. 10 refineries, two cracking, 12 light oils, solid. 3 petroleum, solid. 12. So. Yeah, that sounds. Those numbers sound reasonable. Hey, Solren. Yeah, sorry to hear your internet is having a struggle. But yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy the watching the VOD playback, and you'll appreciate the shout out as well, of course. Right, so we need that, and I'm going to need this as well. Oh, actually, what I want to do with this, I want to stick in a pump at the top of here, so I can say, because I don't want to use this all the time, I want to link this up to that tank with a cable like so. Interesting. Because then I can have it only running when there's a plenty of the petroleum gas. So when there's petroleum gas is, where is it? That one. When there's more than 20,000, seems reasonable. Then this will always be basically full, and will mostly run off light oil, which, as is probably the intended way to do this. Really, gets rid of all of that as well. Oh, after playing Industrial Revolution so much, it feels amazing how quick bots are in this with this system. Right, there's. Oh, I should probably. Where do I want to put this refining? I mean, there's a space down here where there's quite a lot of refining nonsense going on. So this feels like a sensible place to put it. But it's a bit of a trek down there. But there isn't any room up here to put it in really. So I don't want to fit too much in there. Let's see. Yeah, I think down here is going to be the best place to put it. So that means I have to then get these pipes through over here. Are they long enough to do this? They are. Excellent. So we'll do that. So, and like, so. And I talk about trying to use space a bit more cleanly. I've just left a mass of spaghetti in the middle of this this area, but never mind. There we go. So the oil's down here. And same down this way. That was amazingly convenient. All the the lengths just happened to match up as I wanted them to. Okay, so now we need. Let's see. I want to start using the petroleum gas first, if I can. Am I right in thinking that you turn petroleum gas? Yes, you do. Excellent. So turn petroleum gas into solid fuel here. Let's have 2 of them. And that splits off from here like that. And then we'll have a belt running down here with solid fuel on it. And lots of stone in the way as well. Oh yeah, let's clean out this area as well from stone. Bot frenzy. Right. Okay, so hopefully we'll see if 2 of those can keep up. If not, I can add more in. Probably over here on the other side. In fact, let's put another 2 in on the other side just for fun. There we go. Keep everything as set up to the sort of highest level I reasonably can. There we go. You're going to need power for all of this. Let's be symmetrical and put power. That's true. I am very short of blue belts though, unfortunately. I used, if you look over here, you can see that all this at the end is yellows because I basically ran out of blue belts and was scrounging them from everywhere to try and get this second station up and running at speed. I am only producing a not very full yellow belt of rocket fuel down here though, so I think this is probably going to be okay. I don't get through the rocket fuel that quickly because a rocket load of whatchamacallitium, vulcanite, is pretty big. Is a lot of stuff, so it's probably going to be okay. Probably. No promises. You guys are going to be doing that one. And you'll need power as well. Like that. That gets everything. Excellent. And then we need an underground belt to link those two together. Right, so that's my solid fuel being made. Hopefully that'll be enough. I then need more of these over here. What's a good way to do it? Probably like that. Oop, that. I can run that out like that. You guys are going to be making the actual solid rocket fuel itself. I'm going to need more than these 4, I think. I'm going to put in another 4 on the sort of opposite them. Then we can just link these up like this. And I'm using underground belts because that's underground pipes because then I can run a belt up the middle. This belt up the middle, in fact. Yes, exactly. Because I don't want to overflow on the petroleum, because if I get too much petroleum gas in there, then the whole system will just grind to a halt. Just do that. Be a bit more efficient with power poles. I can put one in. So I'm gonna one there and one there. Don't know why I've got 3 of those. Right. We are now making solid rocket fuel. That can then go in. If I take that machine out and do this, it's only on one side of the belt, but that's not a problem because I was going to put in more of these anyway. So I'm going to put in another 4 on this side. Like that. That means we run this round the top here. Like that. Inserters, 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 inserters. Oh, that's nice. It's linked up over there as well, so I've got a redundancy in my power grid. And then we need the rocket fuel over here as well. So that's pipe down here. Oh, yeah, I stood on a belt. Why do I not have belt immunity equipment set up? I do not know. There. Oh yeah, and the underneath is all the way along here like this. Right, that should now be everything working. It's down to how much fuel we put through, but how much solid fuel we pump out, admittedly. But that does seem to be sufficient. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to pull up all of these. Let's do their inserters first. That'd be sensible, wouldn't it? Even so, I'm going to end up with a load of vulcanizing mercury, but never mind. Tidy, 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 tidy. Okay, so we've got... yeah, actually, I was going to say you were right about the speed we're producing the solid fuel at. That's well, it's not even that. These machines are all running flat out, so I would need another set of these fuel refineries to do the belts on the other side. Now that isn't necessarily a problem. Let's go and have a look at what sort of rate we're using the oils up at. So these are all. Oh, I haven't got the coal one running yet, but basically, yeah, we've got more light oil than we know what to do with, and the petroleum gas is holding steady at 20,000. So I think if I come down here and I put in another 2 of these systems, I'll squeeze them in along the bottom here. Then I should be able to. Will hopefully give me another. I can then have another belt. I can forget this bit across the top here because, as you say, it's just not getting used, and run it in along the side. So we need basically that. squeeze in. There's not quite room. Typical. This is actually all going to be light oil, so I could put it there, like that, and replace that with one of those. And all of the... okay. Can I have another 2 of these, please? Apparently not. We'll do that. Right, so these all run off light oil. It's all fine, I think. I've got a link around both sides, which is a bit unnecessary. Get rid of that. And then we need an underground there to pass it through there. Oh yeah, and we need power as well, of course. Like that. Right, there we go. So that's another 8 machines producing it from light oil. I can run that over here. And then up there like that. That should now have just, like that, doubled my rocket fuel production from this system. In fact, if that's interesting, these it's because these ones aren't running flat out. So these machines are running flat out because there's loads of light oil available, which is why they're not quite the front ones aren't quite able to unload. Whereas here, the ones that are running off petroleum gas are turning off quite a lot. But that's okay. I don't mind if if this side is producing a bit more rocket fuel than this side. Now, what I also want to do is have some system here that sort of tells this not to... oh. That wasn't quite what I wanted to do, but maybe that'll work. Probably should have used a proper splitter there. Or joiner in this sort of case. What I kind of want to do is stop these machines running off vulcanite, except when there's a shortage of rocket fuel. So, I mean, at the moment, there is actually a shortage of rocket fuel. Why have I not got power here? Technically there is a shortage of rocket fuel because that's why it's still making some. So maybe I should leave these producing. We'll see how this goes. In theory, in the sort of the extreme case, eventually these tanks will all fill up completely. The rockets will all be completely full, and this belt will back up all the way around to here. Because we've produced enough rocket fuel. And to be honest, if we haven't got to that point, then perhaps we're not producing enough rocket fuel, and I should leave this with these ones in here pulling off the vulcanite anyway, even though I'm trying not to use the vulcanite quite so much. But I'm definitely not using it as much, because I've pulled out all of the ones along here that were running off vulcanite, and I've pulled out one of these ones as well. So, and there's a lot more fuel being pumped through from this. So maybe that'll be okay? I guess we'll find out. So the next thing I wanted to do, and I'll come back down there and check on how that's getting on in a bit. The next thing is to have a look at this and go, well, this isn't supposed to be running off crude oil anymore. This is supposed to be running off coal, and coal is coming from here in a weird convoluted way. So what I want to do, how am I going to get this through without, well, I was going to say without horrible spaghetti. I am going to do it with horrible spaghetti. That's the that just is the way. So we'll take all of the coal out on the right hand side. Then we'll bring it across like this. And then like this. Yeah, that'll bring it into more or less the right place. So I now need to snake a belt across like this. Oop, like this. Oh, this is horrific. Never mind. Is my inventory full? My inventory's full. Don't want any of this. Right, so we're going to have coal coming around here. Past these boilers. Unfortunate saving moment. Come on, save faster. There we go. Right, and then I'll put in one of these here to power that. I don't actually think I need 2 boilers here, but they're there. What can it hurt? So we've got a pipe coming up here. This is going to be a steam pipe in a moment. And put that through there, and then heavy oil back around here like that, because that's how this works. That's pulling in some. There we go. and then eventually, and I say eventually because this is going to take a long time, eventually we'll start to get little bits of coal dribbling through here. No, I still haven't done the non-blocking save, and actually after we had a crash in our Industrial Revolution game, which we... Ah! Well, that was clumsy. After we had a... Stop that. A crash in our Industrial Revolution save that we, in absence of any evidence whatsoever, blamed on non-blocking saves. I'm slightly loath to use them. Also, I need to learn to look both ways before going anywhere near railway lines. Or I need to learn to look the right way, because that was just clumsy. I'm too used to flying everywhere, that's the problem. Well, I'm glad you're amused. Having getting some schadenfreude at my failures. There we go. Let's just fly over. Try and remember to fly over the railway lines absolutely all of the time. So, the coal in this comes from these core mine. I'm not going to run over there. I'm not that stupid. Comes from this core miner here, which is digging out these vulcanite core samples, which we're then crushing and then crushing again, and that produces loads of vulcanite, quite a bit of stone, and also iron, copper, and coal. These all go down here, yada yada yada. We're now splitting the coal off here as it comes along, and passing it around here where it can be turned into steam in these pipes, and then eventually also into oil. So that's really just there as a way of getting rid of the excess coal in a slightly more sensible way than what I was doing before, of just passing it round and round here. Yeah, the train was a bit ridiculous. I think especially because I was zoomed in, so I just didn't have any warning at all. It was just sudden boom sound of me dying horribly. Um, yes. So this will keep running constantly, except when as long as the copper is being used. So we've got the copper being turned into copper plates for the batteries and for the basically for the ammunition for these guns over here. And so that's the thing. So that's the whole reason I've got this. Everything else is basically overflow from that and just flows into the system elsewhere. So yeah, this is a way of using up the coal slightly more sensibly. And in fact, the other thing I can do, there's another train. Let's not get run over by that one. Is I can come along here. Let's ditch all of that. I can grab all of the coal out of these belts and try and put it into here, and it won't let me because there's loads of it. Oh, is there a sensible way to dump all of this coal onto this belt? Maybe. I could come over here. I could put it into the outputs of all of these machines. That is a way of getting rid of some coal. It's not the best way, if I'm being honest, but it works. It'll get rid of some of it at least. Oops, there we go. The rest of it, I suppose, I just need to put in a chest and have it unload onto this belt. That'd be sensible. Yeah, exactly. I'm just being lazy isn't quite the right word because what I was doing was actually more work. Stupid is perhaps the right word. There we go, put all the coal in there. In fact, let's make that a request. I haven't got a request chest. Let's make it a buffer chest and tell it to request all of the coal in the world, because then at least I can get rid of anything I've got in just lurking in other chests. I'm not going to get rid of it from here. I mean, I could bring in more coal and start turning that into oil, but I'm not entirely convinced it's worth it. Because then it'll just be brought in by train, and it's another source of hydrocarbons, I suppose. But as long as the oil can keep up, which it appears to be able to, there's an oil train parked here, which is not really what's supposed to happen. Why is there an oil train parked here? You're not supposed to park there in case you're needed to transport sulfuric acid as well. What? That's basically empty. That's full. Why is this pump not pumping? It's connected. No, seriously. That's empty. Oh, I bet the train... No, it stopped. And it's waiting for it to... I don't get it. Am I missing something really obvious here? Because not the pump is connected to the train. The train is stationary. The middle two carriage wagons have unloaded. The tanks are empty. The pumps are the right way round. I don't know what. Then they don't have any circuit conditions programmed on them. Can anyone see any reasons why they're not working? Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery. The cable that's running along here is just going to all of the... Oh, anything else in the system? Ah, yes. Well, let's ditch that. Okay, there's more water. Right, yeah. Well spotted, lobster. Yes, I have obviously linked a crude pipe with a polite pipe. No, a water pipe. Not along here. That's all fine. It's not here. He says slowly and thoughtfully. This all seems to be okay. Must be on the other side of them then. So this pipe heads out this way. And then it just goes, oh, there is some water pipes around over here. But no, once again, this all looks okay. Right, well, dig it up there. You, get rid of all the water. I can't get the water out of it. Okay, so it is over here somewhere. There's a water pipe. Oh, I bet. Yeah, I've put these two close together. There we go. And then presumably down here as well. It's that old problem again. Right, so that's still water input outputs for those two and those two. So those are correct. Still oil around the top there, and they match on the inputs there, insides there. So you, okay, we don't have any more water there reported, and there's sulfuric acid in the system over this way. Right, let's see. That looks okay at a quick sort of glance at it. And there actually isn't any... Okay, let's just ditch the sulfuric acid out of the system and see if it comes back again. Nope, that seems to be okay. Just missed that train. Well spotted, lobster. Thank you. I don't know why, but I seem to have this sort of mental block when it comes to these sort of fluid problems. I don't know why. Also, I need to bring in this this belt of rocket fuel along here. Like that. Because this is what I'm fueling my trains with. It's a bit inefficient to use rocket fuel when there's coal around, but I've got lots of rocket fuel. I don't care. It's nice and close by. Right. So here we go. This is now working. Then the nice thing about this is it's also going to prioritize any coal that comes around from here over the top of the coal that's coming out of this chest. Yeah, water and oil are immiscible, so it shouldn't matter at all. The water should just float on the top of the tanks, and we shouldn't have to worry about it. But apparently we did. So, well, it's sorted now anyway. So let's just grumble a little bit about that, and then try not to worry about it too much. Okay, so I've now used up all of my light oil, so I am not actually producing this oil. Ooh, turrets are going over here. Not actually producing the light oil as fast as I'm turning it into rocket fuel. That might not be a problem. I mean, how are we doing? There's not much in these tanks, but then I am fueling up a massive rocket here, so that's not too surprising. That's coming through pretty quickly. I mean, it's not as fast as it's filled up with vulcanite, so that suggests I should be using vulcanite to produce the rocket fuel. But it is faster than it needs to be, given that this rocket hasn't gone any... Oh, this is the one I set to manual. Launch and cargo full? Yeah, okay, that one did need to go. I probably should have ridden that one, but never mind. They are... Okay, so we are getting through it as fast as we're producing it. I think that means I need some more oil refineries up here. So I need to put in another block of... another copy of this. I don't know if I've got the parts for this. I might be going to run out fairly soon, which is a bit of a concern. Yeah, let's put that there. I don't know how many more of these fuel refineries I've got before it just goes, nope. You'll have to go back to, you'll have to actually make them by hand or go all the way back to Norvis for some more. No, I'm not using the signal as well. I'm just having them launch as soon as there's somewhere for them to go. So because a rocket won't launch unless there's an empty pad for it to fly to. So having it just launch on cargo full is good enough for that. Conveniently. Right. So this is heavy. Insert obvious jokes about the Earth's core. This one is medium. And this is petroleum gas. Let's get rid of these before it causes a problem. One more. Yeah, I could set up a mall here. I haven't been setting up malls on other planets, mostly out of laziness. And to an extent out of not having needed them. So yeah, and it is a thing I could do. Oh, not there. Here, this side. Yeah, there's nothing here. And there. Means it will launch with the last slot not full. That's true. But as you say, lose less than a stack. It's out of 500 stacks, so it's like a fifth of a percent. I don't care about that quite a sort of amount. And yeah, the cargo survivability is an additional loss in there, and potentially. But I think I'm not too worried about it. It's not that big a deal. Are these running? Yes, they are. There's flames coming out. Okay, that's another 50% on the light oil production. So that's now, it's at 1,000. It was at 1,000 before. It is slowly going up. So that is now solved. Down here we've got all of the fuel production running, of course. I could put in more machines along here, I guess, but I don't think I need to. No, we have the fuel is being brought in about almost the right rate, almost close enough. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with what's going on here on Ganymede now. It's not perfect. I'm not 100% on the oil-based fuels. There's still a bit coming from vulcanite, but I think that's probably okay. That is a yellow belt, isn't it? Yeah, it's one yellow belt being taken out of effectively 6 yellow belts coming in, so it's not a huge amount. And we are filling the rockets up with. I think we're filling the rockets up with vulcanite faster than we're filling them up with fuel, so that's not really a problem. Yeah, this one's at 80% fuel and 100% vulcanite. This one's at 10%, or less than 10% fuel and 10% vulcanite. So that's okay. I'm happy with that. Right. Okay. Good. Now the problem is, I now need this rocket to leave, but I launched all the rockets, so I'm out of stuff now. So I don't have a rocket that's ready to launch because I've used them all used them all up. No, I've used up all the space. That's what I'm trying to say. What? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Actually, it probably is. Let's get rid of that and that. All of this vulcanite can go into that rocket. Oh, I could put productivity modules in them. Then I'd get more fuel for the oil, but I'd need a lot more of these machines. Unless I moduled it as well. Did I bring any beacons with me? I brought 8 beacons. I didn't think of this when I was starting. Damn it, should have done. And I've only got 21 modules. But if I put this here, it gets 3 of them. If I put it here, it gets I can get 6 of them from here. Alright, let's module some of these up a bit. That'll make things a bit better down here. And by better, I mean I'll use slightly less oil, so the trains won't be having to work quite as hard, and the oil mine won't be having to work quite as hard. That's probably more important. So put that there. That gets 3, which is the best you can do with a single beacon. That was a glass rocket. Okay, that's all right then. I think that should be on that, so I can actually find these things that I need, like that, and then we'll put speed modules in that, and then we'll put productivity modules in these. And how are we doing now for speed? So crafting speed is plus 100%. Okay, let's replace some of these with those. Now we're running at plus 20% and still plus 200% power. Oh well, never mind. Hopefully we've got enough power for that to run happily. So this is a thing I hadn't checked actually. Was that I got my power was okay, but I did in the last stream build another 2 of these nuclear power plants. So I would sincerely hope there's enough power up here now. That said, it's not that much. I mean, it's running at 3/4 ish. That's not that's all right. And yeah, everything is moduled up to the gills out here, which is why it's using quite a lot of power. Yes, there's productivity modules and everything, but there's no speed or efficiency modules because this was from before I started building with those, which is why it's using quite so much power. That makes sense. Right. So how are we doing? What was I looking at? Oh yes, down here. These are now should be chucking out fuel at about the same speed. Actually, it's a tiny bit faster. Probably should have put these in up here. Oh yeah. That one's got it, but that one hasn't. There we go. Yeah, this does need to be a faster belt now, really. I don't have any. I've got some blue undergrounds. All right, let's. What's that? Frost. What's being destroyed on Frost? Why are things being destroyed on Frost? Things are not supposed to be destroyed on Frost. That one's supposed to be protected. It's obviously an asteroid crash. Why am I? It just there's 6 of them, and apparently every so often that's just not enough. Great. Goodness sake. At least it hasn't hit anything I particularly care. It hasn't destroyed anything I particularly care about. What did it destroy? Oh, there were some spares. Okay, fine, it's rebuilt. But there seem to be at least some repair packs around. So hopefully these belts will get fixed up again. Right. What was I doing before that rather rude alert? Yeah. So this does need to be faster. You're quite right. What I can do then is take these and free up some belts like that. It's a kind of crappy way of doing it, but you know, it works. And now I've got 100 blue belts, so I can put them along here. In fact, what if... Do I have any blue splitters? Do I have any blue splitters in my supplies thing over here? I do. Okay, bring me a blue splitter, blue splitter, blue splitter. 1 will be enough for now. Plus? Obviously not in the Roboport net area. I can't be bothered to go and search through all of my chests to try and work out which one the blue inserters are in. Although, if these bots don't hurry up and bring me the express splitter, I'm gonna think I might as well. Where is it? It's not showing up in any of these, so I'm gonna have to actually search for it, which is annoying. Oh, there's 11. All right, I'll take them. So with that, I can put in splitter there, express splitter there. I want to prioritize from the left, and so we'll just top it up a bit. That'll be nice. That'll be fine. And then over here, we're pumping through a bit more. We need to upgrade that. There we go. And now we should have a plentiful supply. Of course, the problem with this is it's never going to use the it's off the other side. It's never going to use the solid fuel off the outer side of this belt, so half of these are going to remain unused. Unless I now come in here and go like that. No, it isn't what I want to do at all. You don't need these. You certainly don't need these. There we go. It's just these machines that want them. Okay. I'm tempted to put some more of these in across here. It's probably enough, really, isn't it? I think. See, that's all getting used up as it goes in there. This is... I feel like... Oh, is there more... Oh, these are running slightly faster. Why is this side using up all of its fuel when it should have more coming through, and this side isn't? Is it this? Okay, yeah, it was the extra coming in from this belt, I think. Yeah, it's true. Running out of light oil. We should run out of light oil symmetrically on both sides, to be honest. I think I probably don't care. The light oil is being produced reasonably quickly. The rocket fuel is being produced reasonably quickly. I could go down there and just tinker with it more, but I don't think it's worth it, especially as I'm basically out of modules now. Could lower the power consumption a bit, but I don't think there's any point. So this, assuming I haven't run out of oil, which I haven't, I think this is probably all okay. These are all running. This is just not quite producing it fast enough for it to keep up. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this. It's not completely removed my reliance on producing fuel from vulcanite, but most of the fuel coming through, I feel, or there is a lot of fuel coming through that's being produced from the oil. That is kind of weird. I'm surprised by that. I thought it tends to work its way along the pipe and then just got sucked in by whatever machine it got to first. But okay. I also sort of don't care, I think. Okay, so here we've got stone being turned into glass. That's filling this rocket back up again. We've got stone being ready to be shipped out. That's full but not needed. That's all okay. How are we doing up here? This one is still loading. This one is full. I think I'm going to call this done now as far as this planet is concerned. I think I feel like I've finished it. I've finished everything I want to do, and it's working well enough. We've got full vulcanite there, but not full rocket fuel. But I'm going to set this to launch when the cargo's full, so we're ready to go once it does actually fill up. And I'll have a bit of a think about the rest of the planet and try and work out if there's anything else I've missed. I'm not touching the erudite out here; it's not worth the hassle. Okay, so I've done the mystery rectangle there. That's that's all explored and sanitized. That isn't a mystery rectangle. I've got vulcanite being brought in at a suitable rate. I think let's have a look at the to-do list, see if there is one here for Ganymede. Here we go. Ganymede. Power poles, meteor defense. Yes, I did that. Repair turbine area. Did that. More vulcanite mines. Did that. More rocket fuel. Did that. Nuclear plants. Did that. Rails, drills, power poles. Yeah, I did that. That was bringing the mine out. So I have now completed everything I had on my list for Ganymede. So if I've forgotten anything, it's past Laurence's fault, not present Laurence's fault. Okay, come on, fuel up. 80%. 20%. We're filled up with vulcanite though, so this sort of goes to show that I am now producing vulcanite fast enough that I don't care if I'm using it for fuel. I think it's probably absolutely alright. Alright, let's have a think about what we want to do next, because this rocket is probably going to take me to Norvis orbit. I hope it is. It's either going to take me to Norvis orbit or Norvis, or there's a very small chance I might end up on whichever planet it is where you turn vulcanite into the hot beads in order to process one of the ores. If it takes me there, I'll be mildly upset, but yeah, we shall burn that bridge when we come to it. And yes, future Laurence is probably always hates past Laurence, because past Laurence never leaves things in a sensible state. So, what's the next thing to do? I think one of the big things I want to do is head back to Norvis orbit and get the bioscience So this is probably now okay. No, it's jammed up again. I don't want to put any more onto the... I could put more onto the wrong side of the belt, actually. Like that. Because there's nothing else going on. This belt isn't used for anything else. So that's sort of okay. It doesn't really help as much as I would like it to, though, because they're now pulling off the the near side of the belt, so it's just delayed the problem slightly. So I'll need to go back here and put in either a snaking loop of belt going like that to give a bit more buffer space, or a chest to, again, give more buffer space. Ooh, what's complaining? Not enough logistic space on Norvis. Interesting. And Norvis has been damaged. That's fine. Okay, I'll look at that in a moment. And I want to fix the science up the top. And, of course, I want to produce more science packs. But another thing I want to do is learn what buttons to press to control this game, is to go back to have another look at Norvis. Another thing I want to do is carry on playing with spaceships, because I have this idea that's... I sort of sparked it myself, and then I've had a load of people in the video comments talking about it as well, where I think it would be useful to set up um, a mining system on one of these oil moons, and probably the really small one like a Salia, because it's small, therefore there's low gravity, therefore it'll be easy to lift off, and essentially have a spaceship that lands on that moon, fills up with crude oil, is fueled up, or maybe fills up with rocket fuel. Actually, maybe we could do all the refining on a Salia as well. So it fills up with rocket fuel, blasts off up into space. So the spaceship will consist mostly of these tanks, because I think they're kind of big. Yeah, 100,000, so they're 4 times the size of a normal tank. So I have loads of those in it, and one rocket engine on the back. It'll fly it back up into orbit, and then dump all of that fuel into a space station in orbit around Asalia. We can then have spaceships, probably another spaceship doing a shuttle run between Asalia and probably Norvis orbit, because that's where most of everything happens, I suspect, bringing the rocket fuel over there, and from there it can then be distributed out among all the spaceships that are going to require it, and probably used to fuel rockets as well, at least the ones that are the one that is leaving from there. So that should give me a sensible way to fuel spaceships, and maybe make it a bit easier to get them off the ground. We'll see. See how that goes. And then I suppose other planets where spaceships pick stuff up, we could have refueling sites on those as well. Perhaps we'll see. Poseidon is also a possibility. It's much bigger though, so it would require a lot more fuel to blast off, so that'd be less efficient. And I assume there's going to be a lot of oil on this planet, because it is a mostly oil planet. What does it tell me? 800, 300, well, 900, 400, 400. That's terrible. It's much less frequent. The size and richness are the same, but yeah, Salia looks better for that than that. Yeah, and better than that one as well. So yeah, Salia will be a good one to go to for all the reasons, and there's no biters on it, so that's nice. So yeah, that's my medium-term plan for that sort of thing. Now, yes, as Andrew says, Spidertrons are a good idea. They're something I've been sort of meaning to make for absolutely ages and just not getting around to. How have I run out of storage space? There's some more storage space. Have fun. Why is there so much glass? Has a glass rocket crashed? Oh, a glass rocket just left and has clearly crashed. Bloody hell. So down here, yes, there's an enormous quantity of where it lands. Here, is this where it lands? This is where it tried to land. So there's been a massive rocket. Oh, here it is over here. Yeah, that rocket that we saw take off from Ganymede, crash landed, scattered debris all over the place, and now there's loads and loads of glass here. So what I should actually be doing is putting in a request. Where do I have requested warehouses? I probably don't. I certainly have requested chests. Putting in a few of those, and also some of these, and then we can actually get this tidied up here. The problem is I can't program all of these up. Well, I can't program the chests to request the glass until the bots have flown over and dropped them off. So this is going to be a slow process, and I'm probably going to forget What was I saying? Yeah, so Spidertrons. Yes, that's a thing. Um, Spidertron. Load instructor rocket control unit. Heavy girders, I'm making those in space. That's fine. I can nick some of those. Biomass, yeah. Rocket launchers, I tend to make them in my pockets. These portable RTGs, those are going to be tricky because they require a lot of stuff, I think. Well, they require uranium fuel cells. And I don't really have the parts for those in space because I don't have the uranium 238. But I could. It's not impossible, even if it requires 8 of them. So I could bring some of that up. Exoskeletons. This is all stuff I have up in space, I think. Yeah, they're not unmanageable. They're fairly expensive and a bit of a faff to make, but I think they'll probably be worth it. So yes, that's excuse me. That's definitely a thing that's worth thinking about. Oh, yeah. I probably could do that. Let's see if they've been placed yet, because my systems here should be reasonably. Yes, they are reasonably quick. Oh, I need pylons as well. There and there, and you are to request all of the glass, and so are all of you. And then we need pylons in there and there and there. I can, yes, but I can't. I can't set it until it's been built. That's the problem. Nav mode will allow me to configure them like this, but when they're just a ghost, I can't. So that was the problem I ran into. Okay, that will. Oh, is it out of Roboport range as well? It is. I should probably tidy up. Just it's good for the environment and stuff. So I'll put Roboport there, and that's going to require power as well. There we go. Now what? Oh, that's okay. It's just been a massive biter attack, and there we go. Immediately, ooh, there's more biters coming in. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with these defenses. They seem to work pretty well. Oh, it's because this train's turned up, and one of the I forgot I'd done that. Yeah, one of the things I've done is when the ammo train rocks up, it now has an artillery cannon on the back of it, so it blows it. Well, you can see it takes out all of the biter nests that have been causing that. Because it seemed to me that if the ammo train is going out to an outpost, then that means there are lots of biters attacking that outpost, because that's why it's got through ammunition or whatever other stuff was required by that outpost. So if it's getting attacked, then that means the biters are clearly too close and therefore are so they're attacking. So I might as well send an artillery train out there to deal with them. I have obviously done a bit of artillery research since last time I was here, because that's quite a long way and it's going to be a while clearing all of this up, but the defences should be able to cope with it. So yeah, that's going to be quite a lot of attacks like this one. But yeah, I think defences should be able to deal with that. Yeah, I'm happy with this system. Unlike an industrial revolution where we don't have the what do you call it, repair bots coming in. Raphael, I use filter inserters in places where only one item would be, mostly because I'm lazy. Often I only have it's easier to just carry one type of insert or a couple of types of inserters around with me. So I often leave the why are these power poles not appearing? I often leave the just use filter inserters and then program them to just pass anything across. And it's out of sheer laziness. And there's no good reason for it other than that. Yeah, they are slightly more expensive to make. I can't remember what it costs to make them. Is it just an extra red circuit or something? Um, oh no, five green circuits. But I reckon I've got to the point now where my factory is big and strong and powerful enough that I don't really care about that. It's not too serious if I use up a load of extra green circuits. I mean, look how many I've got on this belt, for example. So it's just easier to use filter inserters sometimes. Also, sometimes I'll actually program them to make sure I haven't done something dumb. So along here, these I clicked on the wrong thing. These probably are programmed to be to the things they are inserting, because that way, if somehow the wrong thing gets into the train, it doesn't matter. They can well, it matters a little bit. It'll go round and round in the train forever, um, but at least it won't unload things in the wrong place. And my God, that's a lot of bots flying around here. Oh dear. At least glass is going somewhere useful now. Thank you, Peter. Yes, having the ammo train pushing the biters back, I think is a massive improvement. It's going to be a while until it's finished off everywhere where there are potentially biters coming in. That should poke out further into the sea, but never mind. It seems to be coping. Um, was that on an island? No, surely that was just on some shallow water. Yeah, it's going to be a while. It's run out of shells now, so the train is probably going to run out of. He's going to hit inactivity soon and clear off. But I think. Why is it still sitting there? Oh, it's still. Ah, each time the flamethrowers go, there's a tiny bit of activity from this pump. So there we go. Now it's leaving. That's a bit silly. But yeah, it's pushed the biters back a good long way up here. So I think it's going to be a while before we get any more attacks to this outpost. So it probably won't need to call the ammo train back out again for a while. So that's working well. Right, I am still trapped on Ganymede. What else can I talk about while we're waiting for this rocket to... Is it waiting for it to fuel up still? Yes, we are. And it's the light oil that's the problem at the moment. So this belt has filled up completely because of the from the this one. What do you call it? I could put in this as well, like that. And then at least we'll stop using the light oil up down here, and there'll be more of it available for actually making the rocket fuels. That's potentially a slight improvement. I don't know if that was actually an improvement or not. I could do that actually. Yeah, let's have a play around with that. Nevis, no, Norvis, no, but Norvis orbit, that one. Yeah, so over here I do have an area that is all robo-ported up and has a lot of the stuff I need. It's not going to have all of the components, but we can always put a machine in. I think this is probably going to be able to make Spidertrons. They're not that difficult. Spidertron. Why are these picking up from when I search for spider? Who cares? And then I'll need a blue chest for that. And an inserter. And that. These are all triple the amount that's needed, so let's just do the divide by 10 because I don't need to build these things in huge quantities. That can stay. I can go to 5, 3. Yeah, there's a lot of things in here that I just don't have I don't have anything like enough of, or I don't have them up here in the logistics network. So these ones are going to be fine. The girders I'm going to have to go off and yoink separately because they're being made over in the material science area. So I can just go and grab some, but I'll have to go and get them. I'm slightly surprised there were some biomasses knocking around. I must have just not tidied it all up yet. The rocket launcher is a thing I've always made by hand, as is the radiothermoisotopic generator, and I think probably the exoskeletons are as well, because you don't need a lot. Well, I haven't needed any exoskeletons because I've had jetpacks the whole time. So I might be able to make those though. Let's have a look. In fact, let's put that there. Oops. I want you to make the RTG. It's the Generation 1 RTGs I want. Ooh, weird goose. Yeah, it's RTG Mark 1, which is blue fuel cells and low density structures. Okay, so I need you to request blue circuits as well. Sure. And I need this here. I need you to request both types of uranium. This may or may not happen. And I need you to make fuel cells. I've forgotten the iron for this, but yeah, I need iron as well, but iron isn't a problem. I can request some iron from here. And then we have one of them. And then, and I put that one down by mistake. Okay, so that's going to be a lot of the components for the Spidertron. At least it's, if it works. Yeah, we should be able to get the running out of blue circuits. That's the thing I need to look at. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go over there at some point. Oh, we've not got that. That's not in the. Yes, it is. Or is it the centre of it that count? It doesn't seem despite the fact that the orange border does touch the doohickey, the warehouse, it seems to be thinking it's outside the logistics network range. So clearly it's the centre of it that counts, not the edge of it. I can probably fix that though, even from here, like this, and then put one of these in there. Construction pylon. No, I think I've researched construction pylons, but I haven't actually started building them yet. Mostly because I've not been. Yeah, I suppose it would be a nice way to just boost the coverage out here, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be nice. If I was up here, then I'd totally do it. But if I was up here, then I wouldn't be doing it manually, I suppose. It does make a sort of sense. You're right. I won't moan too much. We'll see if I've actually got any roboports up here. And survey says no. I could remove this one, I suppose. It's not really being used. Oh, no, I could remove the ones out here. That makes far more sense. Let's take out those two. Actually, let's take out all of that first. Here comes a fleet of robots. It's probably going to, yeah, do that. I thought that would probably fail. Never mind. I'll do that. I'll do that by hand later. But that's got me a couple of roboports that I can now use to finish that off. That off. And then we've got a bit of that. How much do we need for these? Oh, it's 19 for each one, so I'm going to be able to make like 3. Oh well. That's not even enough for one of these generators, and the Spidertron needs 4, 8. So I need a lot more of the heavy one. How are we doing over here for the fuel? This is the one I'm in, isn't it? Yes. 439. That's going up very slowly. I'm surprised it's not going faster than that, even with just the these refineries. I could put a speed module in one of them, I suppose. Let's make it go a bit faster. Oh well. Let's have another look at the to-do list. So there was... Right, so there's one of the planets. Was it... No, Kothar? No, it wasn't Kothar. One of my planets has a... One of my planets, which one is it? Where I'm doing the holmium. Oh, it's Henkasesui. Okay. Henkasesui. Fix the blue circuit production. So that is the thing that's already on my to-do list. I do need to go out and do that at some point. I just need to start bringing stone in properly. Yeah, I think having the trains carrying stuff around in space makes quite a lot of sense. Really, it's having the belts. You just end up with long belts, and then you get to the point where you realise you're not transporting enough stuff through by the belts, and you can't upgrade them any further. And so you then need to wind extra belts through, make your bus even wider, and that just means there's so much resource on the bus, there's so much wasted space, there's so much scaffolding put down just to support the bus. And not only that, you then have massive long runs of belts carrying the catalogs and the science packs and so on, and significant data and so on. And whilst I do have fairly long runs carrying all of those things. Well, I have quite a lot of those built up in the chests waiting to be transported around by train. It doesn't feel like as much. Maybe it's sort of an out of sight, out of mind thing. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think having trains makes a lot of sense. And with the thinking of LTN with the recent, I say recent, it was a year or so ago, updates to Factorio, where they put in the train limits in vanilla Factorio, you don't need LTN quite as much as you used to. So as long as you don't mind having one train for every resource, you can set your train to you can set your stations to have a train limit of one, or no, train limit that's set automatically based on whether they need stuff or not, and that's relatively easy to do with circuit conditions. And so you can then use that to control whether a train comes out to the station, and then so the trains will then just go to the places that actually need the stuff rather than and you don't end up with the thing where as soon as one station turns on, you get about 4 trains trying to go to it at the same time. So yeah, using the train limit, you can make quite a good pseudo LTN type setup. The only thing that you miss out on is the sort of the reusability of the trains, where I've got a depot here that's got half a dozen trains in. Well, here it's not so impressive because actually I've got about as many trains as I have stations. But down on Norvis or in space where there's loads of stations, you can get away with just half a dozen trains if a lot of the stations are fairly low throughput. So that's the only thing you really lose, and probably if you are clever enough with your circuit conditions, you might even be able to find a way around that and just have it always work and just yeah, and find a way to have it deploy trains to where they're actually needed. I've not gone into that sort of level of circuit conditions though, because I suspect my brain would turn into cheese. Remote setup setting construction pylons. Yeah, perhaps. I see what you mean. Be interesting to have a look at, certainly. What I was saying was, yeah, Henk accessory circuits here. Yes, I want to sort that out at some point. Norvis orbit. So we think we want to try and make construction pylons. That's these ones. What's that with? Is that a radar as well? Only charges one robot at a time, but never mind. No, again, we need exotic things in order to make them. So that's not quite. It's not practical, unfortunately. So is that's pylon, not substation. Okay. Yeah, I'd need to get the aeroframe scaffolds and the girders again, same problem, and the holmium solenoids, and those are all being produced either in the where they're needed around here, or also up all the way over here. So we've got the solenoids being. Oh, we're not actually producing solenoids yet. Solenoids will be produced for this one, I think. I'm sure I'm making them somewhere for something. Yes, I think it is quite feasible to have trains now that there's a train limits. It's quite feasible to have non LTN. In fact, if I'd started playing Factorio since the that was put in, I probably would never have actually started doing using LTN because just wouldn't have needed it. I'd have just used lots and lots of trains. Yes, I do actually have them being made up here, and yeah, I could do. It is possible. I'm just being, I don't know, probably kind of lazy. I just want this rocket to fill up, but it's not. It's just not. All right, I'm going to turn both these rockets off for now and go and have a look and try and work out why it's being so bad. Why is there so little oil coming through? What's going on up here? These are all running. Okay. These are all running. There's a quantity of crude oil. Oh, I'm not sure I'd describe it as plenty, but there is definitely some. These are running away quite happily now. I mean, there seems to be a steady stream of fuel coming through. It's just not enough. It's just the sheer amount required to leave Henkaseswi, I guess, is just meaning that despite the fact that I'm producing solid fuel at this crazy rate, there's just not enough light oil to I could cut this off, I suppose. I mean, is that gonna help? Probably not. It's gonna give me a burst of making more of the fuel. That's true. Yes, I have done this before and had some success with it. So it's this one. If I put a pump in here, and it's a bit silly that I've got two of these rockets, to be honest. I should just have one of them, um, and not worry about the second one. Just have one silo launching twice as frequently, rather than having two of them that just launch whenever that take twice as long to get ready, and then launch two rockets at about the same time. It'd make a lot more sense to have a steady supply of them going out. But I built this up. I can't remember why it seemed like a good idea at the time, but it seemed like a good idea at the time, so I did. Uh, yes, it is definitely possible to pump fuel out of one into another, I believe. That's not a programmed one, so I should put that there. Need a power for it, and I need a piece of pipe there. Yeah, that'll fill up nice and quick now. Okay, let's go and get back in that rocket before I realise I've forgotten to change the settings on it and it's accidentally launched. Right, I wonder where it'll take me. Oh, yes, I think you're right. They probably did have different destinations originally. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Bloop, 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 bloop. Right. Okay. Let's just go. I've had enough of Ganymede. 'Tis a silly place. Let's find out where I end up. This will be exciting, won't it? For certain slightly limited values of exciting. So this is a thing I talk about from time to time. We've got the it wired up, so it builds the rocket first before it starts loading. Oh, a bit's missed. Most of it's landed successfully though. Right. Okay, I'm back on Norvis. I think that's probably as good a place as any. I'll just go back up to the space station eventually. Oh god, that's a thought. Yeah, what happens if a rocket crashes when you're in it? I hadn't even thought of that. I don't think I want to know. Yeah, I mean, the odds were it was probably going to end up on Norvis, and if it hadn't ended up on it's probably about 80% chance of landing on Norvis, 18% chance of landing on the space station, and a 2% chance of landing on whatever that other planet was that uses vulcanite. What's going on with all these bots? I don't know. Right, so was there stuff I wanted to do on Norvis? I've got more oil and more copper as things to consider. Oh, that's true. You're right. Yeah. All right. I'd have been absolutely fine if it crashed. You're quite right. It would have made a mess, but it wouldn't have actually mattered. What's going on over here? Oh, they're unloading bringing all the glass all the way back across the base again. So while I'm here, let's have a quick look at how the oil and the plastic and so on is going. So plastic seems to be flooding through nicely here. We've got 166,000. So I'm going to call that a solved problem because we've got more plastic than we know what to do with. The coal seems to be coming in nice and quickly there. Copper, are we sufficiently coppered? Yes. There's a backup of copper here, so I think we're all right there. Copper's being produced at a suitable rate. Yeah, I think that's so. Okay, I think I can tick these off for now. Those are done for the time being. I'm not gonna worry about any of those. So things for those Spidertrons I was going to make. Right, let's have a quick think about that. Spidertron, Spidertron. So, low density structures, fine, they're in space. Rocket control units, fine. Heavy girders, in space. Biomass, fine. These things, that's all basic stuff. I've got that in space, not a problem. These, on the other hand, these are the problem things. So I need lots of uranium-238, so I'll buzz over and get some of that. The other two are okay. I might need to get a Henk accessory soon, though. Oh, I can do that by spaceship. That'd be much better. Exoskeletons, those are all things that are in space, I believe. And radars are in space. Yeah, that's all fine. So it's just the uranium-238. Yeah, I could build some legs while I'm down here, I suppose. I might as well do that. In fact, I could just yoink a load of fuel cells from down here. I don't need to actually take the uranium-238 up with me. I can just flit over merrily to about here and go, that's a nice fuel cell, I'll have that. Just need to make sure I get enough of them, because I'll feel kind of silly if I go up and I've only got a quarter of the number I need or something silly. Yeah, true. I might as well make the RTG thingies. Where are they? They're going to be in manufacturing? No, they're going to be in here probably. I don't know. I can't see them. Let's search. So I need a load of low density structures and I need a load of blue circuits. That's all on the bus. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and the big electric motors are on the on my bus as well, so I can grab a load of those. That's how they get into the rocket to be taken up into space, actually. Okay, so blue circuits. These things, both of them, in fact. So I want to make a load of RTGs. Two. Two is not enough. How many do I actually need for my spider? And how many Spidertrons do I want to make? That's the other question. Um, eight. Eight for each one. Jeez. I think it was... This is ridiculous. Especially as I'm probably not going to need half the stuff I'm picking up at the moment. Okay, what am I running at? It's low density structures specifically. Okay. And apparently I'm picking up huge quantities of blue circuits as well, but never mind. Should probably find somewhere where these come from and just nick them straight out of the machines. That'd be a lot more efficient. Okay, and exoskeletons. Steel. Oh, come on, there must be somewhere I can grab steel from without filling my inventory. Yeah, this will do. Where's my... Oh, there it is. Belt immunity. Yeah, one Spidertron per planet is probably is about right. I'm sort of tempted to work my way up to that slowly and gradually. I assume a Spidertron take eight exoskeletons, or perhaps four exoskeletons because they've got 2 legs each. Four exoskeletons because they've got 2 legs each. That kind of makes sense. Okay, so I've got the stuff to build one of them now, I think, pretty much. I'll carry on making exoskeletons just because I can. I've run out of big electric motors again already. Top up my rocket fuel while I'm just grabbing random stuff off the belt wildly. Yes, that was entirely deliberate, I promise. Steel again. Oh, okay, so the spider... Yeah, loading Spidertrons is a thing I'm wondering about, because I know there's this gantry mod thing, which I can't remember if I've actually installed or not. Have I installed it? Equipment gantry, I think it's called, that you can use to load... No, I haven't installed it, which you can use to load vehicles up with stuff. But yeah, if I just send a Spidertron out in a rocket, then it's not going to be configured with all the bits and pieces it needs, so it's going to be a slight problem. Rocket launchers, and then I'm there. Right, I now have all the mundane stuff required to build a Spidertron. I shall try to get into the habit. I tend to, when I go off to other planets, I tend to do it from Norvis. So I shall try and get into the habit of actually bringing all the stuff I need in order to make a Spidertron with me. In fact, what I could do is, in my spaceship, I could have a box that is for Spidertron parts. So come in here and go, well, this one is for spaceship parts. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be handy. Bots and roboports and things, yeah, would be very useful. So just miscellaneous bits and pieces that you'd want if you're trying if you're trying to take over the world with some sort of weird spider robot thing. Where did those go? Oh, just threw them on the floor. That's helpful. I wanted to put them in here, but not all of them. Yeah, so I'll fill this box up with all of the exotic stuff you need to make a Spidertron, and then we'll at least I'll know I'll have that. Why am I making green circuits from scratch? I don't care. So I'll have all of that. That'll be fine. Ooh, I need to solar up my spaceship as well. I need to make my spaceship bigger. In fact, I need to make... What do I need to do to make spaceship bigger? What do I need to do to format sentence properly? Right, I need material science 3. That's tempting to go for, because and then I'll be able to get that one as well, and that one, and not that one. I'd have to do energy 3 for that one. So I'll be able to get, if I do material 3, then I can get 3 more tiers of spaceship integrity. Because at the moment, I'm sort of limited by my container stress, and possibly by the hull stress as well if I start trying to make a bigger one, because there's only so much stuff you can fit in a spaceship. And to be fair, it is the amount of stuff I can fit in is as big as a rocket at the moment. So this spaceship, it will carry as much stuff as one of these rockets will, and it won't scatter bits of itself all over the place. But it does take longer to get places. So it's pretty good, but it could be better. And also I want it to be bigger so I can put some solar panels in it. So I'm going to fly this up into space now. I'm going to build my Spidertron up there, and I'm going to make this spaceship bigger and a bit less of an ugly shape. So, destination. Norvis orbit. 6 seconds. Yeah, I can probably sit in a spaceship for that long. Up we go. Blip blip zoop. Spaceship teleport. And it's used like 20% of my fuel, but never mind. Engage, number 2. It's still got that thing where when the lasers fire, they use so much power that the rocket engines stop. That's ridiculous. Okay, and touchdown. Where is my spaceship parking place? It's up here. I still can't remember where the pipe's supposed to go for this. I think it's there. Yeah, that was the second place I considered landing. Okay. So, now I'm up here. Let's go and finish off the Spidertron first while I've got it on my mind. So I need to go and get some heavy girders. Actually, am I building those around here? Because I could be lazy and just grab them from around here if I am. No, this is all green metal stuff. That's pink metal stuff. Good, nerder. All right, let's quick jaunt over to the. Actually, no. There was something rather important that I wanted to do while I was up in space, wasn't there? Yes, there was. Let's go and actually sort out that biological science research, because that's. I feel like research is my top priority in a way. It's just the sort of the thing that's the whole point of everything. Everything else is just a means to an end. Yeah, having some sort of landing position marked out would certainly help a lot. That's probably a good idea. So, what I'm going to do, take those out, put those in, and put in a chest there. Oh, it's putting them on the wrong side. Ah, I didn't think of that. Oh, actually, no, that's okay. In fact, that's probably a good thing. Having them on the inside of this. In fact, I should have just done that right from the start. And I might have not needed this nonsense with the chest and things then. Because these are going to take from the near side by default, if there's anything available there. So this is actually better. Yeah, I could do that, but I don't think I need to. There's now. I just didn't think of this. If I thought about it, I'd just had this belt feed straight onto. In fact, why not just do that? Now this entire inside lane of the belt, all the way around here, is my buffer, and the inserters will pull off that side by default. That seems much like a much neater and more elegant solution to it, to be honest. Wish I thought of that first. Oh well, never mind. No matter. And we now have, well, yeah, it seems to be working well for now. What I will do, though, actually, based on what you were just saying, is I will, in case of emergencies, I shall link up this belt to these belts, and this one is going to be enabled when biogenetics data, that's this one, is, why is that stopped? Oh, I know why that stopped. Is equal to 0. So it won't pass through unless this belt's empty. You will read belt contents and you will hold, and so will you two. There we go. So this belt will now only run if this section of belt here is empty, meaning that it's sort of, if this ever backs up at all, this will stop completely. So I think, yeah, I think a combination of the two, a bit sort of belt and braces, should be the best way of doing this. Although actually, that's completely pointless. That just isn't going to do anything. I'm going to get rid of it again. Because if it ever gets back to here, it's going to be pulling off this side of the belt anyway, the bottom side of the belt anyway. So that would be, having it stop the outer belt would be a nonsense. It's already too late at that point. Perhaps what I should actually be doing is having it read from about here and only turn on if this is less than 8 or something like that. But I think this should probably just be okay. I know, famous last words, but I'm reasonably confident, reasonably optimistic. Could move this over here, that'll make it slightly better, I think. Gives it slightly more space to fill up before it starts to use it off the outer side of the belt. Okay, that's that one fixed. That's actually pretty easy. Oh, that's a thought. Yes, good idea. I could just put stack ones in here, I guess, actually. But no, that should be fine. And I could put an onto the insider along here. Oops. Or at least I could if I hadn't run out of belts, for goodness sake. Don't need that many along there. Okay, so that's going to spread it across both sides of the belt now as well, which I think... Yeah, it doesn't matter for the genetics data that's just flowing around here. It's going to mean I'm filling up both sides with these goo pots, but that's not an issue, I don't think. And it means it's going to be going on both sides of this, but that's fine, that's just a disposal chute. Yeah, so that's alright. Why are these slow? Oh, there's not enough biosludge coming in. Interesting. I need more of these, but I didn't bring any biochem facilities over with me because I just don't have any space-related stuff in my inventory because I wasn't expecting to need it particularly. Okay. Need more of these. Actually, let's sort out the problem I saw up here, and then go over and fix that. And I can grab my what do you call them? It's girders while I'm over here as well. Girders plus more girders. More girders. There we go. That'll do. And bio is up here. And oh no, it's down the other side. That's the problem. Oh yeah, I could use my speed module, couldn't I? What have you gone to do? Probably there's a signal here flashing. That's not good. Yeah, there isn't meant to be a signal there. Right, that's alright. Yeah, that wonderful speed module 9 can just go in to make green sludge faster than it would otherwise make green sludge. There we go. Problem fixed. And now this one needs to go underneath there, which I can't do. Typical. Just put the ghosts in for now, and then go across that splitter. Right, so that should all be correct. This comes over here. That one's now not loading up because there's a silly number in here because of the mistake I made earlier. But eventually we'll work through all 5,000 of these, and then everything will be hunky-dory in this area. Okay. Good. Fairly good. Reasonably good. Then back down here again, and yeah, let's get slightly carried away here and make this machine run twice as fast as normal, or more. How fast can we make it go now? 220%, plus 220%. So it's running at more than 3 times normal speed, and it is actually using all of the power in the world. Holy, look at that jump there! It's ridiculous. It is actually using 22 megawatts, 6 times the normal amount of power. What if I do that? Oh no, now it's only using plus 100% power. So it's actually that is now essentially 2 machines. It's running at plus 100% speed and using plus 100% power. So it is just 2 machines compressed into a smaller space. Okay. I guess that's one way of sorting that problem out. And if I remember to come back with my with some more of those biochem facilities, then I can reclaim that speed 9 module. Oh dear. So is that everything? I think that was everything I was trying to do while I was over there. So now back over here, I've got those bits somewhere. Those that we're waiting for. So that's going to be one. If that, oh, that might be 2 Spidertrons actually. Oh no, not enough rocket launchers. Rocket launchers I can make though. They're not difficult, especially if I go and pick up the parts I need for them. So I'm out of green circuits, and yeah, just out of green circuits. And there's some here. That's easy. Yoink. Couple of rocket launchers. Right, how's the is that now producing the biosludge at a suitable rate to keep everything happy? No, it really isn't. It's still too slow. And I don't know how much of that is because it's playing catch up, but it's not producing biosludge quickly enough. I'm going to need to go over and sort that out. Or I could send over a Spidertron to go and sort it out, or I could drive the Spidertron over to sort it out. Either works. There, go on to the second one. Hey, what's it powered by? I assumed I was going to need to put fuel in it, like every other vehicle, but apparently not. Apparently Spidertrons are just powered by the Force. So that's nice. I won't give it any ammunition because it doesn't need it. Grid, right? Okay, so it's going to and logistics. Oh, interesting. So I can trundle it back over here and then pick up what, yeah, and it'll automatically load up from the bots. That's handy. So trunk is going to need to have some construction bots, so it can have half of mine. So it can have half of mine. There we go. Oh, you're right. Of course. Yes, that's what's powering it. Fair enough. So those want to go in, and I'm going to need to give it a one of these. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. That's also an inability to count. Why is counting difficult? Right, so put that there and that there. You make those. You make those. That is the right way around, isn't it? Yes, it is. Excellent. You also need low density structures and blue circuits. Ah, thank you. That's worth knowing. We've got a load of low density structures here. Have some of those. And I did have a load of blue circuits, but I've obviously used them all up. Blue. Right. Okay, that'll make me my personal robot Mark II. Okay. And until then, I shall play the dancing spider. Ridiculous thing. Oh dear. So what am I missing to make the next one? Heavy girders, rocket launchers, RTGs, load instructors. Okay, lots of stuff. Oh, there's no... Oh, gears and batteries. Do I not have batteries up here? I thought batteries were a thing. A thing that I had. I had. Yeah, they're a thing that I'm requesting anyway. Maybe there just hasn't been a spaceship, a rocket coming up with them recently, and a rocket coming up recently enough. So that means that 2,000 is clearly not enough because I've run out. Oh, let's just check actually. Are there any... No, there's none in buffer chests either. As usual, I've put this in a rather crowded space and there isn't enough room around it to do what I want. So let's put down another one of these. And this can make cogs. And turn out to be outside the Roboport area. Just. That's still not going to be enough because of the batteries. Like, right, let's have a look at Norvis. Why are there... What is the rocket doing or not doing? Okay, here come the extra 2,000 batteries I requested. I'm not quite sure. Oh, there's a splitter in there. That's a bit weird. No, they are actually coming in from two different places. That's even weirder. Oh well, that was not the reason why. Oh, it's not remotely full. I'm not getting through the sort of the low priority stuff in particularly large quantities, it turns out. Oh well, never mind. What was that for? Oh, that was for a Roboport. I do kind of need that. Oh well. Right, I'm gonna, while I ignore that completely and generally neglect this, I'm going to have a bit more of a play with my rocket because rockets are my spaceship because spaceships are fun. Now what else am I going to need for it? I might need some more floor, so I'll grab some of that, and then let's have a think about this. So the spaceship, somehow I've got inside it, straight through the wall. Right. The spaceship, I want to... What do I actually want to do with it? Oh yes, I wanted to put solar panels in it. That was it. I'm now trapped inside the spaceship. There we go, there's the door. You can fly into it, but you can't fly back out of it again. Where am I making solar panels? Am I making solar panels? Yes, I'm making them here. But I haven't actually got any because I've run out of basic solar panels, which I'm not making anywhere. Oh, not basic, but... Oh, so I am. Why are you sad? Run out of mirrors. Okay, mirrors I am making, but I haven't got them on the bussery system. Yeah, if I ever ran out of science, then it would be... what am I looking for? Mirrors. If I ever ran out of science, then yes, the rocket would definitely come up because I'm asking for so much of it that I can't see me actually getting to that point. But yeah, it's a good point. Then maybe I should just have them launch every half hour or something like that, especially as it doesn't take that much to launch one up into space. Or, secret option number 2, I should start doing that by spaceship. So I could have I do need to look into automating spaceships because I haven't done that yet. But once I do, I could have an automated spaceship flying from Norvis to orbit and back again every half hour or so often. And that would keep me supplied with all the stuff I need. Right, so that's some... They're getting taken away as fast as they're being produced. Where are they going? Or is it to my inventory? No, where are they going? Is there a big solar array somewhere that I'm not aware of? Oh no, they're just loading stuff into there. The solar panels are all going into the box. Okay, 11. That should be enough. It's just a spaceship. Spaceship clamp tech. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Spaceship's difficult. There we go. Right. Okay, so let's take out this wall first. I shall make my spaceship a little bit longer, I think, in order to keep that nice sort of pointy front end. So, we need some spaceship floor. I'm going to tidy the shape of it up a bit when I'm done with this as well. So we'll do that. We're running the spaceship off rocket fuel again, which is a bit of a shame. I can make a bigger door, actually. I just haven't yet. It's a good point, though. I'm probably going to run into the "no, you've made your spaceship too big" problem fairly soon. So how wide is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I need to make this one wider on this side as well for basic symmetry. And symmetry is a good point to start with a spaceship, I think. Millennium Falcon notwithstanding. Yes. Oh, I've run out. Damn it. Yes, I've heard that if you dig up underneath things that exist, they just disappear, which is a bit weird because normally you can't destroy. Oh, I should have brought another door up. Because normally you can't destroy stuff in Factorio, but I'm aware that's the exception to the rule. There we go. And I suppose we'll just sort of work into a point like this, and then we'll find out if that's too big for the spaceship tech I have at the moment. Oh, building stuff like this is... Building diagonals is annoying. I should have got the bots to do it. Oh, especially when you run out of walls, even more so. Yeah, the Millennium Falcon was symmetrical, and then they put the olive on the side of it. Wasn't there? There's a story about that, wasn't there? The Millennium Falcon was actually based on a hamburger George Lucas was eating that had an olive lying next to it on the plate, and that's why it's a sort of basically a circle, but with a sticky outy bit on the side. That wasn't what I meant to build. This was what I meant to build. This is a bulkhead that's missing. Give me a bulkhead. Bulkhead? Give me a bulkhead. There we go. Door, please. Oh, it's a slow build. Okay. If only I had that 200% speed module. Actually, it's just occurred to me there's a box with a load of spare spaceship parts up here. It's probably got a door in it as well. Oh, no, it hasn't. No, it's got everything else, not a door. Guess who completely forgot to bring any walls when he went off to pick up a load more spaceship parts? Oh, actually, there's some up here. Walls I did have. There we go. Actually, let's put that there, and then have the wall there on the other side. Okay. Right. I kind of want to move these tanks, but they're full of liquid, so I can't really. But let's put some solar in here as well now. Actually, let's check that I haven't made my spaceship too big. Note integrity status invalid. No tiles found connected to a properly enclosed console. Oh. Try again. Ah, excellent. Hull stress, I've got a 414 out of 500, so I am still within acceptable bounds. So now I can get rid of this and stop wasting fuel on producing electricity. I can get rid of those. In fact, I'll just get rid of all of these and that. And it's solar power, so it's free. So I'll just whack one of these in the middle of it, to be honest, like that. It can power everything. I don't care if it powers things outside the spaceship as well at this point because, well, power's cheap. I will keep the a row of accumulators in though, actually, because they're going to be good for providing a little extra bit of sort of buffer when the yeah, when the lasers start to fire, basically, so that they can charge up. And yeah, I kind of want to move these rocket fuel tanks around a bit because they are kind of in a silly place now. Or are they? It probably doesn't matter that much. Let's put this right. No, actually, I don't need it right inside the door because I can use it from wherever because I've got long reach installed. So I'll put that up here so it's out of the way. I can put some more of these in. And I can have my storage over here now. And then a bit more power. Oh, all right. The power is going to be slightly offset vertically. And actually, I'll move these ones down because I'm a perfectionist. Even means room more for one more there. Okay, we've now got loads of power here. This is just powering the base for me. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could put more. Oh yes, I could just put more tanks in, and then just remove them. So I've put one there and then remove that one. It's just completely filled up those two. So yeah, that's hopefully not lost any. And if I let it settle a bit, then I can probably take that one out as well and put another one in up here. But that's probably okay actually. It doesn't really. The tanks weren't in that bad a position. It's only when it gets a bit bigger and I start wanting to do things like putting warehouses in here that's going to be an issue. And at the moment, if I put in I could probably put in a warehouse. Like that. There we go. And I think that's still inside the storage limit, just. Yeah, there we go. Over 400 on both of them. So that's my spaceship. I can't get to the console, but I've got long reach, so it doesn't matter. You mean put these tanks over here instead of these solar panels? I could, yes. That would probably be a more pleasing layout. But I think for now I'm reasonably happy with that. That'll do as it is. I think. Right, one of the things I wanted to be able to do is fly this between planets. So I do need to go out to Henkasesui at some point. So maybe that should be a sort of a first flight for it. I think so. Yeah, that's pointy enough to fit with the pointy rules, I think. To tell me in here about position is no, it's not useful information. I believe so. All of the that's true. That's a good idea. All the random spaceships parts in here, oh, except for those, because I'm going to need them. Yes, and I can put the door over here. Not like that. Like that. There we go. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Just walk in this way now. And yeah. Streamline is... Oh yeah, streamline 100%. Thank you. Yes, I completely failed to notice that. And I've got 815 gigajoules of fuel in here as well, so that's lots. I'm going to pull up that bit of land over there because I was using that as a marker. Yeah, I need to put down some markers for the edge of this ship. So I know what I can do. if I get this and put there and there, and then I suppose there and there and there and there, those are marking points for me to land the ship in amongst, and it'll line line that up nicely. I suppose I could even put in a path going to my ship now like this, so that I don't have to aim quite so carefully when I try and land, when I try and get in and out of it rather. Right, what time is it? Oh, it's only 9:30. I was expecting it to be later. Because okay. Let's look at clamps, because that was going to be a thing I'm going to need if I'm going to automate anything. Oh, I've done docking clamps. That's it. That is a thing I already have. Okay, so what did I want those? Oh yes, I was going to, instead of having the rocket that comes up to land here, I was going to start using a spaceship instead to fly up with all of the stuff that's needed and have it flying up at a regular frequency. Why has this failed? Ooh, overshot. What are you sad about? Oh, batteries again. Right. Um, uranium fuel cells are the Spidertrons. Yes, that makes sense. I put them in the rocket, in the spaceship. Yeah, I seem to be building Spidertrons up here, so I might as well take those and those and those and those and put them all down here with a Spidertronerizer. Yes, I was just thinking that. So got a second Spidertron. I don't have a second. In fact, I don't have a first Roboport yet because I ran out of batteries for it. No, I don't. I could give it mine, I suppose, actually, because I'm not really using it at the moment. In fact, yes, let's do that. Let's give all my roboty stuff to this Spidertron, so it can have the other 25 robots, and it can have. Oh, I've got 2 of them. Oh, it's a personal Roboport Mark 1. I was going to turn those into Mark 2s, but never mind. It can probably get by with a Mark 1. I'll just make lots of... What do I need for... What did I need for the Mark 2s? Okay, yeah, lots of batteries. You know what? Let's launch that rocket on Norvis, because if I'm going to stop using rockets relatively soon anyway, then launching this isn't going to be an expense, effectively, because it's going to be stuff that I'm not using at the moment. I'm not going to use. Oh, it needs power in its grid separately, does it? Okay, so I need another... Yeah, you're right. It's got electricity 0. Yeah. I could give it some defences, but I don't think it needs defences if it's up here. Where were those other RTGs? My inventory is full of nonsense again. And Tesla ammo. There it is. There they are. Okay, so I have a Spidertron here now that's charging up very slowly, given it's got an actual RTG in there. I should have put 2 in for temporarily while I got it started, but never mind, that's fine. I do have quite a lot of junk in my inventory, and what I've been doing with that is, to an extent, I've been just dumping it in over here and then cleaning it up later when between streams, which is a reasonably good way to do it I think, but sometimes it's not so great. So let's get rid of some of this. Actually, let's keep those and put them back in where they belong. I don't need this much rocket fuel. Or this much any of this. Right. Thermodynamics facilities. No, it's not what I want. Let's turn that on. Ooh, I'm going to get all of the space stuff. Cool, I guess. Ooh, no. I'm going to run out of inventory space very, very quickly doing this. I don't need that. I don't need drills. I don't need those. Oh, I did want those, but never mind. Oh dear. What can I get rid of? I don't need rail. Don't give me railway. I don't want railway. I don't need that many roboports, goodness sake. Stop giving me roboports. I don't need... No, I want... I'm sure I shift-clicked. Well, I thought I shift-clicked. I'm pretty... Given that it didn't, I'm pretty sure I didn't, actually. Roboports in here, yes, because I do actually want 10 roboports. I don't need signals at the moment, or train parts. Am I being... Oops. Oh well. I do kind of feel like I'm fighting with this sometimes. Like when I decide I don't want something, but I decided I did want it before, and so the game is trying. The bots are trying to bring it out to me constantly, even though I'm sort of desperately trying to tell them that I don't actually want any of that. It's a bit gets a little silly. Right, what I actually want is the biochem facilities. They're in here, and that's these ones. And yeah, 5 of them is probably a good number because 2 isn't remotely enough. Go on then, just fill my inventory up with nonsense again. I don't need that many repair packs. I still don't need that much rocket fuel. I certainly don't need that. Or that. Or that. Or those. Or those while I'm up in space. Right, I'll do. I'm off. What's happening there? There's a massive flood of stuff pouring. I don't know. I thought I could have sworn I saw a load of bots pouring iron into the coal supply for some reason, but I don't think that's what I actually. I don't think that's what I actually saw because that's crazy. Hey Lakashita, space exploration is a mod for Factorio. It's kind of a huge mod pack for it that essentially takes the basic game, and then after you finish it by launching the rocket, it adds a load more stuff on, like extra planets to go off and explore. You can build up. Oh right, that makes sense. So you can build up massive space stations like this one. You can go off to other planets and search for exotic materials and such like. So it just gives you a load of extra stuff to do after you've finished the normal game, which is more complicated, of course, because that's what you're probably what you're looking for if you've completed Factorio and are playing mod packs. And it just makes it a bit. It gives you a load more stuff to play with and a load more interesting stuff, things to fiddle with. So yeah, I like it. It's a little daunting at first. Actually, it's not that daunting at first because it eases you into it very well. You start off doing the basic ground-based sciences as you would in all the initial game is very much the same as vanilla Factorio in that you start off by just doing all of the ground-based stuff. Then you head off into space, and then there's an easy space science to get you started, and then there's a difficult space science for you to continue with, and it just carries on that way, getting gradually harder and harder, and giving you more and more challenges. So I think it's really good. And the Factorio devs also thought it was really good. They even hired the guy who wrote it. So that's a pretty impressive advert for it, I think. I don't have any bots because I put them all in my Spidertron. Ah, let's see if we can just get the Spidertron to run over here. I've never used one of these Spidertrons before, so not even in vanilla. So let's see how this works. You click on that to select okay, and then do I just click and it'll go places? Excellent. You know what I should have done? Oh, actually, it's not going to be able to get out there, is it? Let's see how far it can get. I want it to come out to. Well, let's say go to there first. See how it does. Is it just going to jump off and float through space, or is it going to get stuck? I think it's probably going to get stuck. Yeah. Okay. So if I am going to do this and have have the Spidertron being a replacement me when I'm spider symbol when I'm not available, then I'm going to need to have spider islands all the way across the all the way down the railway line, so it can wander over there and fiddle with things. Because at the moment it's kind of stuck. Actually, let's just build by hand. It's not that complicated to build. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, have it a self-building Spidertron platforms. No, you. Ah. How do I tell it to not ask for any modules? I suppose I can fill it up and then unfill it. That'll do. Right. So I've now doubled the effectively doubled the speed this is running at, because I've gone from one machine running at double speed to 4 machines running at normal speed. I could put in a beacon here, I suppose. I don't think I need that. Oh, did. Totally needed it. Okay. I take it all back. Underground pipes here are shorter than I thought. Oh, okay. I'll have to give that a try next time if I remember. So how are we doing? How's the biosludge? Oh, biosludge is up to 100% now. Okay. We seem to be all right. This tank is at the 5k expected. I might. So that one's always run. No, that one runs whenever it's less than 15k. I do sometimes wonder if I should raise this to 10. If I should raise it, if the amount in here matters for how much flows through to here. Because if this is only at 20, does that mean there's a reduced throughput compared to if it was at 100? I could put in a pump in it. No, I don't want. There's no point in putting a pump in here. Because I don't want to put in a second return pipe to bring the sludge back up again to go into the tank. So I can't put a pump in here on the output to it, because the whole point is that sludge can make its way back up here. Oh well, it seems to be working. I'm not going to. I think this is an if it ain't broke, don't fix it thing, and it seems to all be working quite well now. So yeah, that's pretty good. Right, so that should now be sufficient over here for all the sciences to trundle through merrily. So down here, yes, no, no, we've not got enough of the whatever this science pack is, because we've not got enough of one of these inputs, I think. Is there something coming down on the other side of here? Yeah, that's what I was sort of what I was thinking. The pressure is capped at the 20%, but you're saying the throughput isn't capped by that. Then maybe it's not so much of a problem. Not so much a problem. Okay, so we've got mechanical data coming in along here very, very slowly. So up here somewhere is something that's not producing mechanical data fast enough. This one. Why are you slow? You're slow because you're these machines, and these machines are naturally fairly slow, I suspect. Let's go and have a look. This might be a job for some modules, I think, because this is causing problems everywhere else now. Now the thing is, I can't put it. Well, I could put in a beacon if I had any. Yes, I do have some, but I can't get 3 of the machines with a beacon, so it feels kind of wasteful. I could put one here. I still can't get 3 machines with a beacon. I could put it in here. Oh no. Oh, I need the other. Oh yes, I need the other beacons, the ones that have the really big areas actually. So I probably could get loads of these machines with that, with one of those. I might even be able to get in another one of these, because this isn't remotely fast enough. I'll fill all of these up with normal speed modules. Well, I'll try. And I'll go and get a beacon and make them go even faster. Boop, 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 boom. Right, I know somewhere over here I'm making the wide area beacons. I think this is just going to be a tell the bots to bring one to me. Why do? Oh, there they are. I don't need 25 of them. Let's have 2, because I'll probably find another place where I need them. And I'm going to want some more modules as well. Those are in here. There we go. More modules. Sure. I've got quite a lot of efficiency modules already, haven't I? Yes, I have got loads of them. Okay. Oh, and while I'm over there, I should get rid of the these and these, because they need to be put in machines over this way so they can get used up and go back into the circulation. So I'll go via the science factory first, or the research area. And it's this box here. Yes, I know it's got a crazy number in already. Now it's got a slightly crazier number. And then down here, we'll try and find somewhere to put this genetics data. It's tempting to shove it straight in up here, here rather, but I'm paranoid about that, so I'm going to put it in down here instead. Right, so it was these machines here. These are the problem ones. So I want to put in a wide area beacon here, where it's going to interfere with all of these. Ideally, I want to put it here, but there's definitely stuff in the way for that. So I'll put it in here. Like, I've lost it. There it is. Like that. And fix this. And fix this. Take all that junk away. Right. So I want to put these in here. Some of these as well, so the power consumption doesn't go crazy. And then I want to fill up those two as well. Right. We're now running at excuse me. We're now running at about 4.5 times speed. I was going to bring some more of these machines out with me, but I forgot, because fail. That's annoying, but still, with this, should be running a bit quicker anyway, a lot quicker anyway. How much extra power is that using? Not so much you'd really notice, to be honest. I mean, yes, it's gone up a bit, but actually that's gone up quite a lot. Oh, because it's not those that have gone up, it's this orange one here that's gone up. There we go. So yes, it has gone up quite a bit, but it's still well within what we're capable of producing. It's still only just over half, so I think that's absolutely fine. Now the big question is this going to be enough of them? So it's 4.5 times as many being produced. We've got to fill up this, but once this buffer fills up, which it seems to be, that is definitely filling up. They'll then all flow down the other belt, and that should fill up much more quickly. No, I sometimes start thinking a little bit about ratios, and I have good intentions sometimes, but no, the space exploration is sufficiently complicated that I don't bother thinking about the ratios. I build up a load of machines, and then I find where the bottlenecks are, and then I put some more machines in there, or in some cases I put in some modules and some beacons and speed modules. So no, I am kind of lazy about that, I'm afraid. Actually, this is a good place to put it, because I've just noticed these ones are seem to be lagging behind a bit as well. So yeah, I'm glad I put that there. In fact, they really are lagging. But hang on, that's not what I was looking at. These are fine. What? I'm losing the plot. These ones. Yes, here we go. Okay, so despite the fact that I've got all of these modules affecting these, I haven't put any speed modules in the actual machines themselves. That's probably going to help a lot more. There we go. Four times normal speed, but using 3 times normal power. That's not what I meant to click on. Where's there a power? There's a power pole. Again, it's getting a little bit concerning. It's gone up rather a lot more. I'm being a bit power hungry here, but it's a nice, quick, and easy way to get a bit more oomph, a bit more throughput. So how are we doing here? Right, that belt has now filled up, which is good. So now basically all the ones that are being produced are going down the other chute instead. Good. So they're going down here, all the way down to here. Ah, this is filling up as well. Good. So that suggests we've now got enough of these coming in because this buffer is filling up quite quickly. The question is that now that this is sufficient, is there going to be enough coming through here to keep this science up and running? Yeah, and yes, I think there is, because look, that's started to get longer, and the inserter for that is right at the end. So we are making these now faster than we're using them. So thank goodness, it's all sort of working. Yeah, as Andrew says, there's a lot in space exploration in particular. There's a lot of things that get passed forward. So an example of that is this mechanical data here that I was just working with, and that probably was fine before, but then it got to the point when it was just being used for the catalog for the Bioscience 1 catalogs, but then I started needing it for down here to combine with the purple biosamples to make the data to make a second type of data, um, which goes in down here and is turned into biocatalogs too. And I can't remember if there's a third one. Let's have a look. Bio. No, though. So okay, here we go. Bio catalog 1 and bio catalog 2 are completely self-contained. We've just got those two between them seem to be there's nothing else being passed on further down to Bioscience 3, with a couple of exceptions. That actually, if we scroll down here, we've also got the purple biosamples are being fed in here, so we're going to need to make sure there's plenty of those, and the green ones as well, actually, and the green ones down here and purple ones down here as well. So the biosamples are also being fed in quite large numbers. So we're going to need to make sure there's plenty of throughput of those, but we don't seem to have none of the other science data packs are being pulled through for making 3 and 4. So it's just up here with 1 and 2 where we've got this one gets fed down to here, this one also gets fed down to here, that one goes, and I think interesting. I thought the fire one got fed down here as well, but apparently not. It's just maybe it's just mechanical. Oh, mechanical goes around there, but DNA, also genetic, and whatever that one is, some sort of material thing goes to there as well. So there's a few pass-throughs on that. Are there better recipes for datas? I didn't think there were. So we've got, for example, it's the material biomechanical data that I'm talking about at the moment. No, there's only one recipe for that, so I can't upgrade to a better recipe when I unlock it. It just does. There isn't another recipe. This is the only way to make them, and then they're used for both directly into the biological catalogs and also into the biomechanical resistance data. So there's a couple of different uses for them, and you acquire the second use after you've already built up your factory for doing the first one. So you suddenly realise you need twice as many, or maybe even more than twice as many. Who knows? Oh, the insight recipes. Yes. Yeah, the insights. What am I doing? I think I'm doing the tier 1, tier 2 insight recipes at the moment. Yes, I must be because there's only 2 of them coming in. Oh, it says 2 there in a massive number. That's a bit of a giveaway, isn't it? So yeah, I'm doing the tier 2, the level 2 insight recipes at the moment. I think I'm doing that everywhere, including for the bio Astro, because I didn't have well, at least when I started, I didn't have enough of the tier 3 catalogs for it to seem reasonable. I suspect now I probably do have enough and I should upgrade this just to sort of make it a little bit more efficient, but I don't actually seem to be doing any research at the moment, so let's fix that. What would be a good research to do? Mining productivity. That will get through a lot of those bio research packs I've made. That's certainly a possibility. I can't do these ones because they require Bio 2, and I haven't got a reliable source of that yet. I could do thermal rate. I don't actually care about that. I don't really care about that because I'm using the ablative ones. I could develop ion. Oh, that's a good idea. Productivity modules. Yeah. Oh no, I can't. I haven't got Bio 2 yet in reliably. Or at least I should have by now. Actually, I'll have a quick look for that in a second. I could do ion engines. They sound fun, but I think that's a lot. That requires a lot of power to make the spaceships move. So, but it's a lot more efficient for fuel, I believe. Um, lasers, worker robots. Can't do that. Could do explosives, but I'm not really using explosives. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Ion engines are probably going to be fantastic for long distance flights. Presumably they're very very low thrust though, if they're anything like real ion engines. Lab research speed. I don't care about research speed. Things tend to research pretty quickly. Artillery shell range 4. Well, that's always fun, but I don't think I need it. Projectile damage, modules, train braking speed. Meh. Yeah, exactly. I don't use explosives, so it doesn't seem worth it. Energy, weapon damage, follower robot count. Don't care about artificial speed. I don't care about. Oh, I could do that. I could have that running as a background one when I'm not doing anything else, actually. But let's set productivity module 6 working first. I don't know if I've got enough Bio 2s for this, and there's no Bio 2s being fed through, so that isn't going to work. But why aren't there any Bio 2s? Because I should have all of the things I need now for that. That's not Bio. Up here, Bio 2. Why are you not? Because you've not got any. It's not got any coolant being fed in. Oh, goodness sake. That's such a stupid reason for it to not be working. It's got everything else it needs. Yeah, it's got the five inputs, but not the coolant. All right, I'm going to go and fix that because it's such a dumb thing to have forgotten. Yeah, the nukes don't really count as explosives. There's something better and different. And to be honest, I don't know. I don't even know if you increase the amount of damage the nukes do, or whether it's just they always do all of the damage in the world and will destroy absolutely anything in their path. So I haven't really worried about it. No, it's a ground pipe, space pipe. There we go. Right, now we're making Bio 2. Oh, can't believe I forgot about that. Forgot to put the coolant in for that, and just yeah, that was silly. I am going to need to bring this belt down here though, in order to punch through there, so that I can go underground here, and have the pipes carry on upwards for the next couple of tiers of research. So I'm just going to stand here for a moment while this gets going, and uses up a few more of those catalogues, I hope. And I suppose I could just pick them up. But I don't know. I was going to say I'm being lazy. I'm kind of being the opposite of lazy. I'm being... Sorry, I've got impatient. I'm being impatient instead. There you go. You can have those. Okay, so that's Bio 2 being made. So that means once I get through there, the Prod 6 will start. And then I can come over and, yes, as you're saying, fill up all of my science labs over here with Productivity 6. What have they got in the moment? Probably 4, I think. I don't think I've made any higher than that yet. No, just got up to 4, prod mod 4. So 6 is going to be a bit of a push from here. I'm going to need to make an enormous number of various tiers of productivity modules. Oh, do they? The ion engines have more thrust. That's interesting. I mean, I suppose the game doesn't have to be realistic, so yeah, why not? Okay, that's probably worth looking into fairly soon then, although it's going to require a lot of power, but my spaceship does now have a lot of power available to it because I put in the massive solar panels. So yeah, that's probably a good shout. I'll consider ion engines as something to put in fairly soon. Although Yeah, exactly. It won't be a huge amount of time. The productivity modules would do make an enormous difference. It's just occurred to me that I've been talking about a system for bringing fuel up from a moon, and if I'm going to jump straight to ion engines, then I'm not going to need rocket fuel. So it's a bit of a silly sort of, I don't know, loop. Loop isn't quite the right word, but yeah, the reason I need these massive fuel tanks in here, I suppose I'm going to need a bit of rocket fuel for takeoff from the ground, assuming I don't get an ion version of these booster tanks. But if I replace these with what do you call it, with ion engines, then right, okay, so I'd still need the booster tanks for liftoff. Okay, that kind of makes sense. You use the booster tanks to getting out of the atmosphere, and then the ion engines for traveling through space. So I'd need two power systems in here. I'd need one for the I'd need the fuel. I'd need to make sure I had fuel for the booster tanks for liftoff, and then I need to have a whole sort of um, plasma generator, excuse me, ion generators system for that. Oh, I could beacon. Yeah, I suppose I could beacon the space labs. Um, yeah, I could if I stuck in a beacon or two along the side of here, then I could fill that up with speed modules. Uh, yeah, and then you're right. I get more oomph for each productivity module. That's a good plan. Yeah, I like that idea. Thank you. I could probably stick in. Well, I don't know. Let's have a quick look. No, you can't put productivity modules in beacons, but you can put speed modules in beacons, and then you don't need as many labs to get the same performance, and therefore you don't need as many productivity modules to get the same performance. All right, night, Peter. Thanks for watching, and yes, you made pretty much the whole thing, so that's very impressive. I've been going for what, a couple of hours? No, 2.5 hours now, I think. So I'll probably be finishing fairly soon anyway. But yeah, yeah. As always, thanks for watching. So if I put that there, I could then probably get in another row of labs on the near side. Can't put it there, of course. That's not going to help anyway. Okay, so I could put the beacon in there. I could put a second row of these up here. So we'd have one, two, three. What was the range on that thing? How many of those was it getting in? One, two, three, four, five, six. So we can get six off that one. We can get six on the other, six in the gap next to it. So if we're running the, then we can get another 12 on the other side. So I could have 24 labs running off one of these beacons. Yeah, you're right. I might find that with the beacons, I hardly barely need more than one lab. But it's nice to think about expansions for the future. And then I could think about faster speed modules as well, because I noticed I've got speed. I could research speed module 6 now if I wanted to, and get that as well. And maybe don't worry about efficiency so much. I think it's easier to put in more solar panels for this one. Yeah, that sounds fun and interesting and stuff. So let's see. So that can make my speed module 6. Production. Here we go. Speed module 6. Sorry, productivity module 6. That's what I actually meant. These can make productivity module 5s. These can make 4s. Can you see the pattern yet? Oh wait, I don't need. No, 3s are coming up in the rocket. Yes, I probably can blueprint a path for the Spidertron. And if I tell it to walk out along to the end of that path, then it'll probably place everything down as it goes. So that's what I was thinking I will probably end up doing at some point. Oh, I'm going to need the exotic materials for these. Never mind, let's do it like that. And these are going to be 4s. And then we'll need... let's just do this. I'm going to be lazy. No. Inserters. There we go. I'm just going to put these unloading into a normal chest for now. Let's see how far this gets. What I'm missing from this. The machine learning data I'm going to need to go and get. But other than that, all of this stuff, yeah, should just turn up. Right, okay, this one. I'm going to need to go, right, those are being made. So I'm going to need to get some vitamelange extract and biocatalog 1. Then I'm going to need to get biocatalog 2. Oh, just biocatalog. So I need Vita extract and biocatalogs 1 and 2. And I need those batteries to arrive. What? Is that still batteries? Yes, it is still complaining about batteries. Why is this not emptying? Oh, because one of these is full. Ah. Presumably. Yes, this one's full. Crap. That's presumably full as well. There we go. How many more of them are there? Not too many. Okay. Right, that's solved that kind of now. Right. Vita extract and both types of biological catalogue. That's not a problem. I can get those. It's a bit of a fly again, though. I should have planned ahead slightly more. I'm not very good at planning ahead or remembering to do what things to do. Right. Bioextract is... There's a station for it down here somewhere, but I'm going to grab a stack of those, 2 stacks of those, and a stack of these. I probably should have got 2 stacks of the tier 1 things because it's... Or actually, I should have got 3 if I was getting a complete stack of the tier 2. I should have got 3 stacks of the tier 1 because it's a 3-to-1 for all of these things. However, no, so it wouldn't help. Never mind. Okay, so what did... Oh, I forgot the machine learning data. Damn it. Half of that for you. Half of that for you. And one of them for you. One for you. And those for you. Machine learning data. That's up here. Wait, have I overshot? No. Down here somewhere. Oh, machine learning data is a thing that's made. What's the word I'm looking for? Is a intermediate product. So I'm going to need to just grab it off the belt here. In fact, what I might do as well while I'm out here is stop this research going and just pull all of the modules out of the out of the science labs and put them in to be upgraded. That'll save a bit of time and... Oh, didn't mean to do that. It's a lot easier to put modules in things than it is to take them back out again. Where am I? Oh, I'm on the north side. Too used to being on the south side as the of the bus. Right, so down here, let's put these. Oh no, these are 4s, so those go in there, and then these go in there, and that should be enough of everything. Yes. Now I can just sort of leave this for a while, and eventually I should have all the bits and pieces I need. Um, it may take a long time, but how we do? We've got two of them now. We need three, presumably. Yes, 'cause it's three of it for everything. But it's yeah, it's got all the bits it needs at least to make a few of them. I didn't really. I should probably have done the numbers. Intelligence. I know there's research speed I can research. Oh, this intelligence. Ah, that's a good idea. Um, yeah, I shouldn't have pulled all the I shouldn't have pulled all the productivity modules. Oh, let's that's 200 of them. We'll wait. Wait until I've got at least a few, at least one or two of these for each machine. Okay, well, there's no point in watching these, is there? It's going to take a while, so I'll think about something else for the time being. Right, I think I might just call it an episode there because it's been call it the end of the stream rather because I'm feeling a little bit in between of what to do next. I'm not sure what I want to do next. Um, at least partly because I've been away for a while, so I've got a bit out of the zone, I guess. Um, but and also because I feel like I've just finished off a load of things, so now I need to decide what to do next as a next major thing. Um, Now there's a few things that spring to mind. Catalog 3, Science 3s for energy or material or bio are all things that are obviously quite pressing, things I'm quite keen to do. I'm also quite keen to sort of get spaceships running, get spaceship automation running as well, because those are sort of that I feel like would be a nice thing to have. It would help sort of just generally improve how everything runs, and I can start replacing rockets at that point, at least inside the solar system. Uh, but whether that means I should look at ion drives first, or whether we just reckon that ion is going to be too power hungry and therefore isn't going to work, and I'm going to need to start, I don't know, having spaceships with nuclear reactors in them rather than just spaceships with a handful of solar panels. I don't know. I should actually let's have a look at ion drives, see if we can find out a bit of information about them, like how much power they use. Um, yeah, spaceships would be good for fluid, very good for fluids. You're quite right. Um, I've mostly got round that actually by shipping coal and ice around, and you can coal and ice. You can basically make all of the other fluids from them. Ion engine consumption 10 megawatts. It's quite a lot, and it uses ion stream as well, which comes from an ion. What are they called? Ionization. There is an ionization facility, but I can't remember what it's called. Um, okay, so we're using 10 megawatts for that. Ion stream is made. Oh, here we go. Particle accelerator, which uses another 103 megawatts. So we're looking at, although presumably in bursts, because it says it uses a small amount of ion stream but a lot of electricity. So if to have three of these engines, we'd be looking at 130 megawatts, and these things are providing almost 8 megawatts. So you would need like would need almost 20 of these to have a decent number of these running off it. Although if the ion generator only has to run from time to time, then we could use accumulators to store up some of that power. But still, it's a pretty crazy amount of power, and I could put efficiency modules in the ion generator. Actually, come to think of it, if it's as well, so that would help. Oh, as a thought, yes, good point. I could treat the ion stuff like a fuel. Yes. Your message came through just after I said, half a second after I said that. Yeah, I could treat it as a fuel, so each time the spaceship gets somewhere, it could refuel with rocket fuel and ions, um, and just fill up some tanks with them. Yeah, that would work quite well. Okay, I think ion engines. I don't think I've researched them yet. No, I haven't, but I can. So that's something to put on the list, on to research list. And I think, yeah, so let's just sort of basically skip straight over rocket powered spaceships and try and jump in with ion-powered ones, because I think that's going to be a bit more effective, basically. And we'll just try and have enough fuel on every planet to load them up with enough fuel to get them out into orbit, and then hopefully we can use the ion stream to go between planets. Okay, yeah, that seems pretty promising. 3! Getting there. Oh, it's run out of something. Oh. I can see I'm going to be doing quite a lot of babysitting this until I get it to the point where it's... Oh, a lot. Oh, it leaves a lot of vitamelange extract. Oh, 10 for each one. Okay. I should have picked up a lot more vitamelange extract. Yeah, so I think I can probably just sort of skip over rocket-powered spaceships. They're good, but not. But I could just. Yeah, I don't actually need to really do play with them. Especially especially if the spaceship will go faster with 3 ion engines, and well, it's going to be about 6 solar panels at that point. I'm going to want 2 solar panels. Well, 1.5 solar panels, but if I get further out from the sun, it might go up to 2 solar panels per ion engine. That's manageable. Yeah, they sound it. They sound very worth doing. As I say, I was expecting them to use enormous amounts of power and produce very small amounts of thrust based on real world ion engines where they're just not practical for sensible real world usage. except in space where you don't want to go very quickly. Right. Okay. Yeah. For interstellar, so for the stuff coming from Ganymede, I'm going to stick with the rockets for now. Now, whether that's going to be a feasible long term. What? I've run out of blue circuits. Um, whether that's going to be feasible long term, or whether I'm going to decide actually I'm going to go back out to Myokin and deal with the water situation there, and use condensing boilers or something. Sorry, condensing turbines or something like that, so it's to make it a bit more practical. Yeah, the rocket. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, yeah. For something, yes, for something just coming up into orbit, that makes more sense. There's no point in having the whole ion infrastructure on those. Yeah, agreed. Let's get some more blue circuits because they're coming through a bit too slowly. Blue circuits? Blue circuits. These ones. How are we doing? 6. That's enough for one lab. Oh dear. Yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous how many modules you need to make things. I mean, I made a diagram for that, and yeah, that was only going up to tier 5. But you basically need all of these green and red circuits to make all of these tier 1 modules. Oh, and these circuits to make these tier 1 modules as well, in order to make these tier 2, and then these tier 2 modules and these extra circuits will make these tier 3 modules, and then all this extra nonsense will make these tier 4 modules, and then these 3 tier 4 modules will make a tier 5 module, and then you need 3 of these and some additional nonsense to make a tier 6 module. So it's 3 times all of this goes into each one of those tier 6 modules. That's crazy. Yeah, you were saying that. I'm just sort of just being excessive, I suppose. All right, let's go and I've got 9 productivity modules now. Let's go and set one lab up to you with the beacon, um, and all of these modules, and I'll take out the doohickeys, the inserters for all the other labs, so we don't just rip through all of their loads and loads of stuff with them. Mod Science packs. Science packs. There we go. It's definitely nearly time for me to finish this stream because I'm starting to struggle to sentence. Okay, so that's going to go there. So we're going to put in a bacon like that, so it gets all of those. I know you say I don't need this many, but I'm going to put them in anyway. So power that. Fill that up with well that one and those. Then I'll take out all of these inserters. Oh, sorry. Yes. Right. So what I've done there that you didn't see because I had a massive picture over the top of the screen was I grabbed the 9 modules that had been made, the 9 speed 6 modules that had been made. That's those. Productivity 6 even. Let's get that right. And shoved them all, and I brought them over here. I put down some land and made a put down my wide area beacon, which has the speed module 9 and all of these other speed module 3s in it. They're now essentially just powering this, essentially just running this one science lab down here. So because I've picked up the inserters from all of the other ones, so it is just this one that's running. And now we see this is running at 6 times research speed, or 6.5 times research speed, with almost double productivity. That's quite impressive. 89% productivity, but we are also running at a stonking plus 1600% power. That's horrific. But there is quite a bit of overhead here available, so we'll see how this goes when I start doing a research. So let's resume that. That inserter is now kind of busy. I'm going to need to put in more inserters along here if I'm going for this. Like that. Okay, so we are actually using up packs faster than we're able to put them in. So I think this means we need an upgrade to these. Ah, that's a... Oh, yes, it would actually. Yeah, let's do intelligence. Although this doesn't use any of the tier 2s, but yes, let's pick up intelligence quickly because... No, it's agility. Intelligence 2. Yeah, let's pick that one up. Now, the only problem with this way of doing it is if you notice the inserters are sitting there grabbing and grabbing and grabbing at the packs as they go past sometimes until they've filled up a little bit. But actually, that seems to be enough. We've got a green light on. It seems to be running. That research is going pretty quickly. It was a relatively small one, I think. It's only well, actually, it's relatively small. It's 200, so that's still quite a lot. But yeah, it's chugging through nicely. Let's do that as well and have a second one going. Okay, so how much power am I using? I'm using nearly all of the power, but not actually all of it not by a significant distance. I'm using filter stack inserters because I don't have any stack inserters in my inventory, and the reason I don't have any stack inserters in my inventory is because there's enough stuff that I'm trying to carry around with me all the time that to try and fit an extra that I'm saving an extra space in my inventory by not carrying around 2 types of stack inserters. So I just use the filter ones everywhere. It's easier, to be honest. Yes, they need to be programmed, but they don't need to. But it's easy enough. You just stick them over to blacklist, and then they act like a normal stack inserter, and they only cost a few extra green circuits to produce. So yeah, it's easier that way. That was pretty quick, I have to admit. Alright, was I going to do... Yes, I was going to do ion engines. Let's get that one. That's a 1600 research. It's going to take a bit longer, but to be honest, research speed has not been a serious problem for me so far. I've been getting all the stuff into place for the researches to happen has been the limiting factor. So I think that should be fine. Okay, I think this seems like a fairly good place to leave it. Or actually, let's nip over here and set those Astro catalogs to be used doing the tier 3 recipe because I can now, and I think I've got enough of the inputs for them. So tier 3, there we go, and take all that nonsense you've given me and that as well. And what? Oh, that's interesting. Of course, yes. This may cause me problems later. So, so as I'm sure you all know, there are lots of different ways to produce the insights. You can start off with the tier 1 method, which takes in 1, produces 2, and gives you back 2 data cards. You move on to tier 2, which takes in 2, gives you 6 insights and gives you back 2 data cards. Then 3 takes in all 3 of the catalogs and gives you 12 insights but no data cards. The 4th one, you actually have to put in extra data cards because you get so many insights out, there aren't enough data cards inherent in these catalogs to produce all of those insights. So that means this dump here is going to stop being required eventually. However, on the flip side, we are going to need to find a way to feed in some additional memory cards to this, which is going to probably have to be along the top here, which is kind of why I'm pointing at this. And that's going to be slightly awkward because currently this is a memory card pickup station. I'm going to have to try and balance that fairly carefully. But that's a problem for later. As long as I've got all of these upgraded to 3 before I upgrade anything to 4, then it'll be all right. I won't have problems from that. So yeah, I think that should be absolutely fine. Shouldn't be an issue. Shouldn't. Another thing I'd quite like to do is get these up to doing the 4 insight input, but that requires more research. Now what I probably should do is set one on the end here doing, I don't know, one of the biologically inclined ones, like that one perhaps. Or that one, or that one. I don't know, which of the... Astro... Yeah, I think Astro, because that's producing extra at the moment. So I'll go for Astro and energy rather than material. There we go. Have that. And that. So there we go. I can use some of the biological ones as well. Okay. I'd considered that. In fact, given the rate I seem to be using them up at, that's probably a good idea. Because I was going to say I considered it and then rejected the idea because they get the ones at this end get used more. But given that what appears when I'm doing actual science, the significant data is flowing through faster. Yeah, let's do that. So got that. I've got one of those. Got one of those. Oops. Got lots of those. One of those. Let's have one of those. Okay, there we go. So we've got blue, pink, green, blue, green, yellow, pink, green, yellow, blue, pink, yellow, and another blue, pink, yellow on the end. Now, if I remember correctly, the significant data recipes get slower the further up you go in the tiers. So this one, the 36 36 to 4 takes 30 seconds in a tier 1 supercomputer. Then it takes... Oh, it's the same. So that's tier 1. Tier 2 takes 60 seconds in a tier 1. Tier 3 takes 120 seconds. So that's why this is really slow. I'm running out. And then the tier 4 you can't even do it in a tier 1, but it takes 120 seconds in a tier 2. So maybe I should be looking into the supercomputers and getting some better computers. Like this one. But that requires energy 3. And then this requires lots and lots of 3s, all of the 3s that I haven't done yet, in fact. So that's probably something that's worth working towards. But in the meantime, I'm probably just going to have to do this manually, like this. Where's my? Is that wide enough? Yep, that's the right width. Like that. Ooh. Must be a bit of a neat freak. There we go. And I'm going to want to copy that to there. Line it up nicely. Boop. Boop. There we go. So I need to get the coolants round. Let's put that exerter there. Get rid of that. And then get rid of all of this. Put that there. Beacon, that's a good idea. I still haven't got into the habit of thinking of beacons, and I don't know why not. If I put a beacon in there, then I'll get all of those, and potentially some future ones as well if I decide I want to put more in. Someday, beacons will actually start being my first thought rather than a distant afterthought. there a convenient way out here? Yes, there is. Oh, well, semi-convenient. Oh, fine. Easier than feeding it around the bottom. All the way around the edge of the computers, rather. Longhand inserter for outputting significant data. Seems to be okay at the moment. I mean, I'm accepting that if I put in another row of these, then I'll lose the middle computer here, and then I can put in another 2 rows above potentially if I need to. So I think this is probably okay. I don't need these anymore. Probably don't need these anymore either. I could move a bunch of these a lot closer together now if I wanted to. That would work, but nah, it's okay. Oh yeah, I forgot pylons don't need platforms. You're quite right. I knew that really. I just completely forgot. Right, there we go. Twice as much of that, and then I suppose I can just go bloop, bloop, boop, and 5 of those, and let's give it a load of these as well, because otherwise I'm just going to run out of power. Probably. Yeah, running out of power. Alright, more efficiency modules it is. How are we doing now? Still running out of power. Ooh, more, do I have more? Yes, no I don't. Yes I do. Yes, time to expand the power supply down here. So what I'm going to do, pull all this up, put in a thingy, pylon substation about here, and one of these. Oh, a couple of those like that. Right. Is that enough power? Probably will be. Yeah. How many more of them have I got? 11. Alright, let's put in another row actually, because I'd like to be able to have power, far more power than I need, rather than just as much as I need. There we go. That's a much happier looking bar. I love how much power these things kick out. It's amazing, especially when they're up in space like this. Right. So now we have over here. We have crazy amounts of science going on like this. Yeah, I could have put in another pylon up here, and that would have been enough, but I did. Yeah, never mind. Or I could have just put the pylon here and used it to power this whole area as well, but yeah, it's fine. That'll do like that. And yes, now we've got all of this. This is all running happily. In fact, now that I've got all that power, how am I doing? Is this fast enough? That's sort of the important question. No. Is that going up or down? It's a crazy number of memory cards get spat out by this when it finishes. I think that's producing them faster than they're being used up. I'm going to put some more speed modules in here though, just because I wanted to go faster. Oh. Ooh. Is that a problem? I've just realised I'm putting significant data up the other side of the belt now. But no, it's okay. I think everywhere it's used, it's joined on like that. So it's kind of a waste, because I don't need the throughput. So let's stop it for that reason. There we go. Green and orange. Yeah. So I think it's a bit of a waste putting it onto both sides of the belt, especially as these ones are never going to get the right hand side is just basically never going to get used. But yeah, so I think that's better like that. Okay, I think that's a good place to call it. I said I was going to stop half an hour ago, and I'm still going, so I think that definitely means it's time to finish. As always, thank you for watching. Let's have a quick recap over what we've accomplished today, and I say we in the loosest possible sense. So I started off out here on Ganymede, my very very distant planet, where the vulcanite comes from. That's in a completely different solar system. I'd already improved the vulcanite supply, and I now have changed the fuel supply over to using oil for it. This tank is still basically empty. So we've used up the oil is getting used up as there is no oil. Right, okay, that's a problem. I'm going to guess that's because the oil mine has dried up. Um, yes, the oil mine has basically dried up, so the oil supply is now rather limited. That's a problem. I may have to go back out here again and fix this. Or we may just find that the amount of fuel that's being pumped out by these from the vulcanite is about enough. Let's have a quick look at that. It's got 2/3 full, completely empty. Because because I'm prioritizing this one, so it's going to always be this rocket that goes, and it's 2/3 full, so it's doing okay maybe. I guess we'll have to I'll have to keep an eye on that. So that's not gone quite as well as I hoped. Um, I've then been messing around up here in space. I've had a look at the oh yeah, I fixed the biologicals down here where this was. Yeah, okay, that's I'm almost panicked. Oh no, it's backed up again, but no, it's backed up for the good reason because we've got full supply now. So that's fixed. Up here, science is running away merrily, and I've upgraded to now using the speed massive quantity of speed modules and things here, and all of these productivity modules. So science is now much more efficient than it was before. And I've boosted the amount of significant data I'm making because it just wasn't enough before. And as you can see, that now seems to have backed up as well because I'm not doing science right now. So so that's good. I'm making some more productivity modules over here. How's this getting on? It's got 2. Well, that's a start, I suppose, but everything else has run out. So we've run out of inputs here. I think we've run out of the tier 3 productivity modules. So I don't know if I'm getting those being brought up automatically. No, I don't think I am. I think they're just being brought up whenever I think of them. So that's I'm going to need to bring some more of those up. But generally, I feel like I'm in quite a good place to now sort of carry on in the future with future things like ion drives and you start using spaceships a bit more and have regular transport coming up from the ground rather than just when there's an entire rocket load of stuff to bring. So I don't feel like I've got that many things I can point to and say, hey, look at this massive thing I've done. But I do feel like I've made some useful progress towards, just carrying on and getting on with more and better sciences and more and better transport and logistics and things. So I'm reasonably happy with that for a stream. As always, as I said, thank you for watching. There'll be there'll be the VOD of this if you feel like if you missed the beginning of it or anything like that, or want to do any sort of catch up. There's I guess Ganymede complaining about its lack of oil, as I was saying. Oh dear. I was afraid that was going to happen. So there's the VOD if you want to catch up on this. There are videos coming out twice a week as well, where I sort of summarise what I've been up to. And I'm also producing the GTA videos twice a week. They're good fun. I strongly recommend them. There's lots of chasing around and people trying to shoot me, so that's always exciting. No biters in that one, I'm afraid. And when there are trains, they're usually just in the way rather than being useful for taking things around. Finally, we're playing Industrial Revolution on Monday nights. That's me and 3 friends. We're getting on okay with that, but the biters have always been a bit of a threat, and we're still struggling with them. So, yeah, come along and give us advice if you want. And as always, there's a huge backlog of videos, as you'll see in a moment when I switch over to the splash screen here. This is one of the GTA videos, as you can see, and sometimes I go off and do more exciting things like skiing. But there's been a bit of a hiatus of that. Apparently, there's a pandemic happening or something. So yeah, I churn out the videos as and when I can. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.